Good. Check, check. All right. As you can see, the elves are still moving around, and we have our accoutrement. So, hello and welcome to Grogtalk. I'm James.
I'm Dan.
Where are we from today, Dan?
We are from the Slaughtered Reindeer.
Yes, it's a very holiday festive place here, where there's various reindeer pieces of dried reindeer mounted on the wall. It's very festive. I'm having eggnog today.
Yeah, me too.
Look at that. I'll be known for Christmas. Oh God.
Is this the fake? Oh no, you actually have drink. I'm gonna have to fake it, like on the TV.
It's chai tea. I thought you said.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
the favorite of gnomes everywhere.
Yes.
So this is our holiday special. I use that in open quotes. I'm not sure how special it'll be, but we have flashing lights, we have presents, we have lots of things to talk about. So
presents for us,
right?
Not for our patrons.
No. Unfortunately, well,
we use their money to buy presents for each other.
That's right. Well, we have used some of the patron money. Like I said, with these new chairs. Thank you to our patrons.
Yes, thank you. Very comfortable.
I'm putting up some sound treatment to make the sound better. Started that process. Getting some new lighting. So again, thanks to all those who want to make the show better. This is where we use your money. We're not using to buy gifts.
No, this is just a joke.
That's right. Well, hopefully they won't take it seriously.
Oh,
well, hello. We've got people on the line. Again, this is a special holiday session because it's not our normal Saturday. So I'm curious how many we're going to get folks from around the world because of the late night.
Oh yeah,
because it's Monday morning.
Well, David Thompson, he's got to get to go to work in a few hours.
So I would say so. Our captain, his most brilliant sagacity, Crown Prince Resolute Scythe of Kensai is on. Good morning, sir, and good evening. So let's talk about some things. We don't have any Grogtalk update. 2020, it's here. We've been doing this for a year. This really isn't our. We need to do an anniversary special next year, in a month or so.
Yeah.
But we're getting close, and we've. That's right. He was sitting up with whiskey wondering why we hadn't started last night. Yeah, we've kind of thrown everything off. Unfortunately, I was out of town, so I got back last night and flew back in, and my arms are tired. I'll be here all week. That's right. So 2020, we're planning to do something, a new segment, right? Why don't you talk about the new segment we're planning to do?
Oh yeah, so our plan is for on each episode, and we're thinking, is this the time we should perhaps also announce that we're thinking about doing it bi-weekly, right?
That's right. We may be going to bi-weekly. There may be special events between that, but we're looking at a twice-a-month thing.
Right. And what we're going to do is on each episode, we are going to feature an issue of Dragon or White Dwarf from 40 years ago.
That's right.
That month. So basically in this episode and the next one, 1979 is coming to an end. And 2020 is not going to be 2020. On Grogtalk, it's going to be 1980. And so in January, we'll talk about the January 1980 issue of White Dwarf and of Dragon.
Right.
And so we'll just, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it's kind of a nostalgia thing, but also the articles that are in there and what was interesting in that time frame. Again, just doing research for this episode, just so much good material out there that we've kind of forgotten about, because when we went through our time warp, right, we had the books, whatever books that we had from 25 years ago and whatever material I had, but we didn't have all the dragons and the white dwarfs. And then as we've kind of researched and looked back at what we're doing, all of a sudden we're like, oh, look at all this great material. You don't have to kind of figure it out. It's all out there already. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun to go down memory lane and kind of contextualize what it is. You're obsessed with that gnome.
Well, if I'm going to buy the gnome, I need to make sure that he can be seen. There he is. This is the Christmas gnome.
Okay, the Christmas gnome is there. So very good. Yeah, and then I think, that's definitely twice a month. And then I'm thinking about potentially running a segment on the campaign I'm running, the challenges as a DM, kind of a review of the game, the session, and do Q&A or something like that. I may do that once a month as well. So I still feel like we're going to do at least twice a month, but 3 or 4 times, knowing us. If we have a lot of special guests also coming up, so it's really got a lot of exciting things going on. Again, thanks, and this is all due to thanks to our patrons. If you can review and like and subscribe on YouTube and iTunes, that makes things a lot easier. Unfortunately, we don't have a heraldry to do this week, so it's a shame because that's always fun to do.
I was ready.
Especially when, yes, sir. This is our dear friend from Sweden. He's I got to make sure I have his title officially done because I don't want to say it incorrectly. The master, his most august piety, baron, contentious lord of Sweden says, yeah.
Well, I think what happened was, we started to realize when we were thinking, we were struggling with topics. And when we realized maybe the next topic was be that die 4, what's that all about? We realized maybe
is this a caltrop or a thing?
We were running out of topics.
Well, it's a balancing act. I think, I will say we'll do a minimum of 2. If there's topics and guests, we've been getting a lot more guests. We've got a lot of great people who have been helping us find folks who are so important to the history of this or doing great things today. If we have guests, we will find the time. It's just we don't want to get in a situation where we're just showing up, like you said, the advantages and disadvantages of each polyhedron.
Do you prefer, when the topic is, do you prefer the old style where it was on the bottom or the new style on the top?
Right. Let's discuss.
Let's discuss. And while we're talking about great guests, I think we should give a bump to Carlos Lysing because tomorrow night on his Twitch channel, he's interviewing Luke Gygax.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Yeah, so tune in tomorrow night, 8 to 10 p.m., Luke Gygax.
Okay.
So you can flood the chat room with your anti-gnome comments.
Yes, they're not anti-gnome, they're just refuting not the fact.
They're factual.
They're not only factual, they're speaking truth to power. There seems to be just such a pro-gnome faction out there on Twitter that someone has to be the resistance. That's me. No, it's not just you. There's others out there. Yeah. So I would love bigger random encounters, perhaps with okay.
Did someone say random encounter?
Yes, we're going to do random encounter. Well, we've got a holiday version of the random encounter.
We do.
Right, so we're going to work on that next. The Swedish Challenge, which again, thanks to our august friend, we've done very well there. But we've also number 7 in Australia. How about that?
That is yes.
So we didn't have a top 10 Australian challenge, or else we'd be flying down there. Which we need to get our globe because I'm not quite sure exactly where Australia is. We'll have room
we're
for it
struggling.
Here.
Yeah.
So
I think it's close.
It's not too bad.
It's not too bad. I think it's like a 2-hour flight. Isn't it?
Yeah, it's like going to New Orleans, exactly.
2-hour connection. You got to fly to New York and then fly to.
That's right. We're gonna need a lot more patrons if that's going to happen. So, my father-in-law is in New Zealand right now, so that's he winters there.
Okay.
So he's always threatening me and asking me to go down there. I said, well, when you provide me the thousands of dollars to go down there, I'll be happy to do that. So, okay. Well, we're definitely going to keep doing that. Absolutely. So one of our dear friends is making sure we do the round things. And in fact, the people ask, and we shall deliver. We're going to do our random encounter right now.
And I think we proceed right to the feed folio on this one. Is that okay? So the holiday theme of this is that we're going to be doing the Arctic.
That's right. Lady Medusa has
encounter.
So it's almost picture the scene. It is, what is today? The 22nd of December. Just a short, or 23rd if you're in, or soon to be the 23rd.
Most of our listeners is the 23rd.
Right, almost the 23rd. And those who don't know the legend of Krampus or Crumpus or whatever.
Whoa, you're asking for trouble, buddy.
I cheat death all the time.
You really do.
That's right. He has dispatched Lady Medusa to take care of Santa and his pesky elves.
Right.
So she has traversed to the northern regions.
Yeah.
But in going there, like in any true old school D&D thing, adventure, she can't just show up there. She has to do a hex crawl through that. So
very Dorso-esque.
That's right.
Vic Dorso's waiting.
Right. Vic Dorso would be a random encounter that people would be terrified.
We should have done his stats.
That's right.
He's kind of like a giant. He's like a frost giant.
Yes. If you see the picture on our website, he's a very large. Yeah, he's a frost giant.
He is.
He's very big.
So Lady Medusa is looking for Santa.
Right.
In the Arctic. Now, is it the plain, the rough, or the mountains? Do we need to roll for that?
Yes.
I like this. Includes ruins. You're in the Arctic.
Well,
Are there ruins in the Arctic?
Well,
there's going to be after Medusa.
Well, there could be an
Santa.
igloo. It could be an igloo that was
old workshop.
Oh, that's right, the old workshop. Maybe that was overrun and they had to move the workshop.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, right. Rebuild.
Well,
a bigger one.
The magnetic pole is constantly moving. Maybe they want to be aligned to the magnetic pole.
That's true.
We're making stuff up here.
We are. All right. In the plane.
We're in the plane.
So she's walking along.
She's walking in the frozen tundra just across.
I see her in like a parka.
Yeah, she has a parka. She's got her hood
so
covered.
You can't see the snakes.
The snakes, that's right.
Hello, lady.
That's right.
You know, can I help you? Are you lost?
Yeah.
She pulls it.
There would be no surprise unless it was camouflage because literally you're on a plane.
But the snakes would be a surprise.
Yes.
Oh, when she pulls off that hood.
Yes, that would be surprising.
All right. You want to roll percentile here?
Yes, I do.
All right, let's do it.
I do want to roll that. 10.
I was looking at 10 because there's only 2 creatures here where there's a single die roll.
Uh-huh.
And this was one of them. Frostmen.
Frostmen.
Or Frostman.
Frostman.
Not Frostwoman. Frostmen. Is this Fiend Folio? This must be a 2 or Fiend Folio?
I feel like it's Fiend Folio.
I feel like they have a ray gun or something like that, don't they?
I think don't they have the sunglasses? Is this the guy?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, they're the guys with the sunglasses. Okay.
Okay, so we're in Fiend Folio, page 40. So Lady Medusa. Why do they? It says Frostmen in the random encounter, and then you look at number appearing, and it's one. Because I'm like, oh, this is awesome. It's going to be like a gang of Frostmen.
No.
So it's just one. Okay, this is.
Why do they have sunglasses on?
Okay, so before we start reading about the Frostman, do you get a sense that maybe this is the kind of monster why people at times have been less than enthralled with the Fiend Folio?
Yeah.
You do? You feeling that?
Yeah. Sunglasses is not.
All right.
And why is it a frost man? Why can't it just be a frost person? Even back then, they should have known better. But that's another story.
Because there's only males. That happens sometimes.
Well, I haven't read that's true. I am presuming that there is both sexes.
Yeah, you can't have only male. It would just be genderless, wouldn't it? Because if you have a male.
Frost person.
If you have an input, you have an output, right?
Right.
Or whatever.
Well, let's figure this out.
All right. So they're very rare. So this is really surprising.
Yeah. Well, they're very rare because they look like they're wearing a tunic, like a half toga, and they're supposed to be in the Arctic.
Or
they're wearing sunglasses.
Or a bathrobe that, like, they got the wrong size.
Yeah, they have slippers on.
They sent me the small.
That's right.
Or a woman's. Yeah. I'm a frost man.
That's right. I'm a man, baby.
I got a small petite bathrobe.
I mean, it's the tundra. You'd think they'd be anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So. Okay. So AC5, move 12 inches. 4 hit dice though. This is gonna be interesting to investigate. Yeah. Wow. What's this dude who's just wearing a bathrobe or a furry toga, doing with 4 hit dice? And an AC5. Where does he get the AC5 from? He's got treasure, though.
It's that loin robe that he's got, his mini robe, his muumuu he's wearing.
You think it's magical?
I feel like it could be.
Okay. By weapon, I love this. The Ice Blast.
Ice Blast.
He's got the Ice Blast.
Isn't that a good... That gum's not too bad. I prefer Mentos gum, but Ice Blast is not too bad.
That's pretty... Yeah. I thought he had a ray gun for some reason. Yeah. He's got the Ice Blast.
He's got Ice Pick. He's kind of the, what was the guy's name from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? The Cornelius.
Santa?
The Yukon Cornelius.
Yes.
This is his, like, evil cousin. Because
he's from the land of misfit toys. He's the land of misfit monsters.
Yeah, he's his evil cousin who, he's the hipster who's a homicidal maniac. I love it.
Yeah. Is this the book of misfit monsters?
I think so. Sometimes it is.
Some people think it is. Okay, so yeah, it's like, whatever happened to that dude? Oh, man.
That's right.
He's a frost man.
It's a frost man.
I'm the frost man. Yeah. Okay, so because of the deadly talent of these creatures, native tribes are greatly fearful of them. So there's native tribes. So I guess like Eskimos?
Right, the Inuit or something like that.
Okay. Greatly fearful of them and call them ice demons. Oh, so this is like a legend, kind of like there's the frost man cometh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Though frost men are in most respects very like normal humans and can have the abilities of fighters, clerics, thieves, or even magicians. That's interesting. Oh, can I be a frost man cleric in your next campaign?
I think you could. Well, first of all, you need to... Well, I guess we need to figure out what they are.
Wow, I want to be a frost man cleric.
Right. So I guess we have to read about that.
They will carry weapons appropriate to their class.
Okay.
See, we're learning.
This may be the whole show where we roll up the frost man so he can be petrified.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's true. Frostmen also have the power 3 times per day of radiating a freezing cone of ice mist, 35 feet long, and a 10-foot base diameter from one eye. That's why I guess thinking of the laser gun. I must have read this at some point. When not in use, that eye is usually covered by a patch. It's a patch.
Okay.
We've learned something. I thought that was like sunglasses.
Those look like sunglasses.
It's his eye patch, so he doesn't accidentally trigger it. Like, why would it?
Well, this is cool. They're both gaze monsters. This is
true.
Yeah, we've got
it's gaze on gaze
That's
action.
right. Gaze frost gnome cleric. Yes, I would say you could have a frost gnome. that's right.
It doesn't say frost gnome.
I like frost gnome
like
better.
the frost gnomes.
I like that. That's
ice gnomes.
I'm doing that. That's going to be the adventure. That's going to be the first
against the frost gnomes.
Against the frost gnomes.
I get to slaughter the frost gnomes.
I don't know. That'd be pretty tough if they're illusionist frost gnomes with ice ray blast.
Yes,
that's pretty deadly.
There's like 20 of them all surrounding you. There's the ice blast going in.
They're just lifting their visor.
Wait, okay, I'm confused. Wait, why does he have to wear an eye patch when not in use? Because the other eye is focusing, so there is no reduction in hit probability due to monocular vision. All right, hang on. I need to read this slower. Okay, so I've got the ice blast with my eye, right?
Right.
From one eye.
Right.
So I'm putting it over patch. The other eye is focusing, so there is no reduction in hit probability due to monocular vision.
Yes. So someone.
Oh, so as I'm using the ice blast, I'm not reduced in my AC and stuff like that?
The fact is that one of the eyes, only one is the ice blaster.
Right.
The other one is just a normal eye.
Well, why is it covered though? Because I don't want to accidentally trip and like ice blast.
Apparently, it's
my
like
sister.
a hooded thing. Well, either that or is it shoots off. In other words, it's like it's charged up and then it launches and you close it.
Oh, you think that lifting the patch?
Right. That's the actual firing.
I thought it was like a what do you call on a gun, the safety?
Oh, the safety.
I thought it was like the safety. So if you trip, you don't ice blast. You're amped.
It seems odd that you have to wear a patch. I would think is a creature, right? Because
yes,
right,
agreed with you.
I'm not an evolutionary biologist or anything, but when they didn't have a patch, when did this trait? Obviously it's magic and you can just handle it that way. But hey, you have this great power. Now you have to wear this patch.
No. See, I think what it is that's why I think the evidence leans toward a safety. That they realize that this is the smart thing to do because sometimes it accidentally triggers.
I got you.
Or maybe they get angry.
All right.
It triggers when you get upset, like the Hulk.
Right. Okay.
And it goes off if you get angry, and then they're like, "Look,
Right.
What if you don't wear it? He won't wear the patch. Why is he not wearing the patch?
Oh, that's true.
What if you don't wear the patch?
Well, I still think it would have been easier, just like the Medusa doesn't have to. It just should be something that they can turn on and off. Well, the Medusa things technically they don't turn off; it's off all the time. Okay.
Wait! But I got another question. Does this mean that I can only to attack? I have to use one hand to lift the patch.
Right. That is your attack.
Can I attack? That's it. I can't be attacking you with the ice pick. Or the icicle.
No, you have one attack. You can either lift the patch or attack with your ice pick.
Because can the Medusa? I should know this if I listened, paid attention during the last several episodes. Yes. Can the Medusa? Does the Medusa get gaze and snake attack? It's just one of the. It's just one.
Right.
Okay.
Well, she gazes, and then if you're trying to avoid it, she runs up and bites you.
Okay. So then the gazing stops.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, in theory.
In
theory, the gazing is always happening, but when she's attacking normally, she's gazing at you. You could still be gazed if you're trying to attack her. There's a chance you see.
Right. Your chart from the damage.
It's a passive attack. Okay.
Okay. Any creature caught in the mist cone. The mist cone takes 3 to 18 hit points of damage.
Well, wait here. So Menion, our dear friend, reminds me of Balor with question mark from Irish legend of Fomorian. He raises his eye to emit a death ray. So maybe it's a take off that.
Oh.
This is why we have people smarter than us on
That's
this.
right. Always surround. That's the secret. Like always surround yourself. See,
Right.
so a lot of people don't realize that.
Right.
They want to be the smartest person. No. Surround yourself with smarter people.
Right. We surround ourselves with, and that's very easy.
It's not hard, is it? It's very easy.
We say dumb things and people correct us, and people are happy. So that's very good. I like that.
Now I love stuff like this. The next line, to date. I love that it's like a historical tag, like to date, as if it's real. But I like that.
Right.
I think that's funny. To date. These creatures, well, this is a long time ago, so maybe we got updated information.
Yeah.
These creatures have only been encountered singly. Oh, and the location of their lair, is type, and their pattern of living are unknown. It is thought that there are villages of frostmen with females and children buried in deep caves and mountains, mainly in cold regions. Well, what do you mean mainly?
Right.
I would think so. None have yet ventured to establish the veracity of these rumors. You know, a lot of these creatures, as you know from the Fiend Folio, came from the Fiend Factory in White Dwarf.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting to know
which one that was from.
And who created the Frostman. Frostmen appear like normal human males. So it's just like a dude walking, and then Medusa's just like a lady walking. Like, hey, what's up?
Right.
They're both in for a big old surprise.
They are.
We'll see who's more surprised.
Because you got one man who's got a patch and he's walking through, and you got this woman covered.
Right.
They look at it, I got this, and all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's like this dude's got one eye. This will be easy.
Right.
And it's like, what? You're a frost man? And then he's like, what? You're a Medusa?
You're legendary. You're legendary.
Oh, you think that? Oh, I see where you're going with this. Yeah. You think there's going to be, whoa. Yeah. That's a different segment.
That's right.
That's a new segment for next year.
It's off. Baby, it's cold outside.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's apparently, yeah. Well, that song, the lyrics are not, right? They're not very.
That could be. They could have gone to, they're just hanging out and.
You could have a Frostman Medusa child. Could you imagine that? Got the eye patch and the snakes.
3 eyes. It could have, snakes.
3 eyes, snakes.
Cold lasers.
Yes. That could, well, maybe you know what? I think for Random Encounter, we need to do a Valentine's edition. Okay. Where I think it ends a little better than usual.
This is like the Tinder app where you swipe or not swipe.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's what people say.
I don't know what Tinder is.
I don't know.
Frostmen appear like normal. Okay. However, they radiate cold, readily discernible from as far as 30 feet, though not of sufficient power to inflict damage. Yeah, but you're in the Arctic.
Yeah.
Is it going to get colder? Like, wow, it's colder. They dress in loose, here we go. They dress in loose bathrobes. What? No, that's not. They dress in loose animal skins and carry their personal treasure in leather sacks. Oh, so that's like a marten pelt or something, or I'm trying to think of some of these cold weather.
Oh, it's like
a rabbit. Yeah. It's like it's a lapin stole or something. Leather sacks. Where do they get the leather from?
Well, they tan reindeer, right?
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah. That's reindeer sack.
That's right.
Based on the limited evidence, I love this too. Based on the limited evidence available, the majority of frostmen. Oh, we've got the numbers. Look at this. 75% are fighter.
Yep.
15% are thieves. That's so odd.
Right.
What are you stealing? You're like going into like
well, the fact
Eskimo
that 30,
village?
And it's 30 feet. They have a cold radius. Hard to sneak around if you're emanating.
They're terrible thieves.
It's so cold in here.
So like you're at the guild.
It's a frost man.
You're in like the city state or something. Everyone shows up. You're like, yeah, why is it? Who left the window open?
Right, exactly.
And it's that dude. I'm here to be a thief.
Right.
All right. Only 8% clerics, 2% magic users. Clerics and magic users appear only to have developed spell use to the second experience level in comparison with humans.
So what does that mean about thieves and fighters? Are they second level or fourth level? Because you could argue because they're 4 hit dice, they should be fourth level for that.
Oh, wow. That's a toughie. That's a good question. I have no idea. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
I'm going to say they're fourth level. But what I do, and I agree with our dear friend Menyon, I like the idea that because this got redeemed because there's just random, you can't just use this character, you have to, or monster, you have to roll a percentage to figure out if it's a fighter or something like that. But I would rule that they would be the same level as their hit dice for thief and fighter, and cleric and magic users would only be second level.
Yeah, a thief without an eye patch though. Well, I don't know.
Well, it says it doesn't affect them. All right, so we got to roll percentage to see what it is.
It was all fun until someone lost an eye. Okay.
So I'm the frost man, so I guess I should roll it.
You're the frost man?
Yeah,
Wait, I thought aren't I the challenger?
Oh, you're the challenger.
I'm the challenger.
That's right.
But you can roll for what? You can roll for what with class. It doesn't matter.
It's a fighter.
Oh, that's so boring.
The dice have spoken.
The dice don't lie. I agree.
Dice have spoken.
Oh, and notice Christmas dice.
Oh, that's right. Holiday dice.
I'm sorry, holiday dice. It's our podcast.
That's true. It's
holiday dice.
All right. Well, it's good news that our chat has devolved into a betting.
Yes, people are betting. Is that what's going on in the chat room?
Yeah. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna rule as well, because the Frostman says by weapon type. We don't know what weapon type.
No, we do not.
So I'm going to use the
magical sword.
That's right. Creating a party.
You are? I'm getting a magical sword. Oh, because that's right. Because they hit a Medusa. Do I need a plus?
No, I don't need. You don't need a
I
magic
don't.
item, but I'm going to determine the type of weapon. I'm going to say he's a 4th level fighter.
Can I get a chance that it's a magical sword? Will you give me a percentage chance?
Yeah,
Or is it already on there?
Yeah, I'm going to see. It's 10% per level, so you will
Oh,
have.
awesome.
Yeah. So go ahead. Let's see. Go ahead. Roll for dagger.
So I'm rolling. What am I, percentile?
Yeah, low is good.
Low is good.
Nope.
57.
Not, keep going. Sword.
Okay. 97.
Nope.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
These holiday dice
Battle
are
axe.
awful. 89.
Nope. Spear.
96.
Nope. Bow.
93.
Wow, that's great. How about bolts?
73.
Nope. Go potion. I'll see if you have a.
84.
Wow, you're screwed. All right.
These holiday dice are defective.
Let's see. Oh, let's shield. May have armor.
65.
Nope.
They didn't be like calling holiday dice. They are Christmas
Plate mail.
dice.
You won't have any of this because you can't.
5.
Well, you can't have magic plate, but you're wearing skins. So I was going to give you a chance for armor, but
Oh, so the one I get, I can't have.
no,
Thank you, Krampus.
can't have that. All right. So how are we going to figure out? We're going to figure out what kind of weapon you have.
Yeah, all right. How do you do that?
Well,
How do you-
I know there's a
well,
random
there's a
table
percentage
for it.
chance. Give me a sword. Can you? Oh, I don't know.
You want a sword? Okay.
Oh, I don't
I'm
know.
just going to give you a sword. That's
Okay.
fine. Roll percentages for the type of
Well,
sword.
or what is that? We can get. What's that? Yeah. What's that?
That's a hand axe.
Oh, it should be. I want to be the guy in the picture.
Okay, then you have a hand axe.
Okay, I have a hand axe.
All right. I like
I
that.
better drop my sack. I don't want to be holding that thing, Mom.
What's in the sack? What's in the thing? Okay,
Well,
so
treasure type. Apparently, treasure type C. All
all
right.
right, so now we're going to roll surprise. I'm not sure how we'd be surprised, but
No, because you're surprised that it's a Medusa, or surprised that
that I've never. Yeah, they're both surprised that they
Well, and
actually
it's-
see a legendary creature out in the middle of nowhere.
when it's snowing.
I gotcha.
It's
Oh,
snowing.
That's a good point.
It's hard to see. Visibility is very low.
One of the dragons, they have the rolling the weather. I could have rolled the weather, man, but we'll say it's snowing.
Can you have a Were Yeti?
Well, you could have wear anything. I don't see why not.
Yeah, Were Yeti would be kind of cool.
That would be, but we don't have that. We have the Frost Man. We don't have.
I am the Frost Man.
Isn't that I'm Cuckoo, I'm the walrus or something like that?
Guess
Isn't
so.
that how it is?
I hope the Frost Man wins.
Huh?
That'd be awesome.
Well, the chat has there's money being exchanged
Yes.
and odds are being put down.
There's
so
what's that virtual money they have now?
Bitcoin.
The Bitcoin are being.
Bitcoin are being shared cryptocurrency.
What are the odds?
Well, and that was one of the suggestions from one of our folks is should we at the end of the show random the monster for next session so people could start thinking about that.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
so the betting can start.
Yeah,
I think we should. That seems like a bad idea.
but that's what makes it fun. All right, let's do surprise.
A lot of things that are fun or bad. Okay.
Surprise.
All right. So I'll roll to see if I'm surprised.
That's right. You're the Frost Man, and
I'm the Frost
I
Man.
stand back. I made a correction that he had. People were betting on the Frost Man, and then I said you were actually running Medusa, but I'm the Medusa. I keep forgetting I'm the.
Wait. Oh, so they were betting on the Frost Man, and then they learned I was a Frost Man, and the odds immediately.
Yeah, well, that's what I was telling them. I wanted.
That's awful.
Yeah,
Do they know
they
I'm
haven't
terrible?
changed yet. They're still giving me.
They've seen me play.
No.
They've seen Pixie
Oh,
and Glade. Oh
one,
no.
6.
Oh.
One segment.
Hello,
Well,
my lady.
Well, I got to find the distance, so I may have to walk up to you.
I'm hitting on you.
There's the frozen tundra, the miles and miles of nothing.
I'm like looking down at my cell phone, walking along.
Well, it doesn't work up there. The compass is.
That's right.
have
That's why I'm
issues.
upset.
That's right. You're lost. Well, should we do land adventure? See if you're lost. You want to really sideways?
No, the Frostman is not lost.
Okay. Well, first we have to figure out distance.
Oh no! Wait, but I have an eye patch. Is that a less chance of being caught by your gaze? Isn't that a 50% chance?
Oh, I like that.
But
I like that. It says it doesn't affect your vision at all.
I'm working it already.
I like it. That was good.
Thank you.
That's a good tip. Well done. work that.
It was rejected with extreme prejudice.
Right. At least, well, I thought about it at least. Let's see. We're 50 yards away. And
oh yeah, how far does your gaze extend?
oh well, our gaze extends 30 feet, so you are okay. Yes, 30 feet.
Oh,
So I move up, and
but I've got to be surprised that
well, it's one segment. You're surprised.
So I'm not. So you don't get an attack while I'm.
No, I move up.
Okay.
My movement, and I move up because I have one segment, so I move up one segment of movement. I move 9, which is 90 feet. So that's 9. I move a whopping 9 feet. So I'm 41 feet from you now. Now it's initiative.
Wait, it's outside. Don't you get yards?
Oh, that's true. Yes, I move. So still move this. We're 40 yards away. I move 90 yards normally. So I've moved 9 yards. So we're 31 yards away.
So we didn't walk into each other.
No, we did not move. We did not move. But yes. So just to recap, that's a good point for our DMs out there. You have to figure out distance when it's a random encounter. So I rolled the d6, and it's 50 yards away. It's d6 plus 4. And because the surprise is deadly if you're close. If you're not close, then you basically kind of waste your time. You have to move to close unless you have a spell or something. So the Medusa is moving towards our friend, and so we've done that. And so you move the number of segments. Her normal move is 9, so she moves 9 yards per segment. So 50 minus 9 is 41. So now we're 41 yards away.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
So now it's initiative, since we don't have any other.
Let me make sure I get this in this picture.
Well, don't put it near me.
They need to see this. Get these guys out of here. Look at these guys. Well, they need to see my.
I'll be no priest. Did you buy that just for this? Or did you have that?
Why wouldn't I?
I don't know.
What do you mean? No. Okay. I'm not sure which is worse, though. Is it worse to have bought this, I'll Be Known for Christmas mug, simply for this episode? Or would it be worse to have actually owned this independently of this show?
And was it a available thing, or did you have to custom make it?
Which would be worse?
You had custom made it.
If I custom made it and it wasn't for this show, I think that would be the worst of all, right? No, It was not custom made. I did not already own it. I bought it. It was already made for the show.
And you know what? I should have got my present. I have to give you another present.
Oh my God, you got me another one of these.
No, I should have. I didn't even think about it.
That would have been funny, right?
That would have been.
Okay.
But now I'm going to get you a custom one with.
Come back.
I don't know if people have seen this, but in Asia, people they obviously have seen of Christmas, but they have mixed up. I'm sure people have seen the pictures of the crucified Santa, in China.
Oh my gosh, no.
Because it'd be like us culturally appropriating Eastern religions and not really quite getting it. Well,
I see.
They combine crucifixion with Santa. So in a mall years ago, they had a crucified Santa. So I was going to maybe get you crucified gnomes or something.
You know what? That could be the cover of the Pseudo Undead album, first Pseudo Undead album.
The crucified gnomes.
Crucified gnome?
Oh.
Gnome crucifixion.
Crucified gnomes.
You like that?
Pseudo Undead. Love it. Death by crucifixion. Awesome.
I do not condone that.
Okay, wonderful. That's a great album, Crucified Gnomes.
Well,
that's a good band.
We'll see. That could be the opening act.
The Crucified Gnomes open for Pseudo Undead.
They're touring with us.
All right, so we did surprise. Now we're ready for initiative.
Let's do it.
I'm moving.
Oh, come on!
These are great Christmas
dice.
6
for our listeners at home.
6. That's right.
5.
So I move my 10 feet. Now I'm within gazing distance.
So now we have to go to the DM screen, right?
Why don't I have this up all the time? I need to keep.
Because Lady Medusa. So
the good news is I gave this. David Thompson wanted this. So okay. So
we've contributed.
What did you declare? What was your action? You're gonna blast me with your eyes, or are you going to?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I'm gonna do the mist cone.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
that's like a to hit. So that would be it. Well, I guess we'll talk about when we get there. But yes, I am declaring. I am lifting.
That's right. Preparing the death ray.
Yes.
Okay, the frost ray. Excellent. Okay, so now roll 3. If you roll a 1, 2, or 3 on this d10, you will have to make a saving throw of this.
Oh, okay, because I am attacking normally.
Oh, it's 4d10 because it's add 1 because it's man size.
Oh, okay, so 4d10. All right, 1 through 4 is bad for me.
Yes.
6.
So you're not.
A holiday dice.
So the Medusa moved forward, unsheathed her thing, showing her horrible
I'm not
visage.
really looking because I'm like lifting my eyes. I'm having trouble with it.
You're calibrating your ray, stay on target.
You must be very intrigued at this. What's this guy doing?
Yeah. What is this thing? It could be a frost man or frost gnome. I've only heard of frost men. I like the idea that you're a frost gnome. That's pretty awesome. Okay. So you are now. I'm within 30 feet of you, so you're doing your attack. So you do your gaze attack.
Yeah, because that's right. Because 35 feet, isn't it?
30 feet or something, right?
I think it was 35 foot long.
Right. Okay.
10 foot base diameter, And it's called a mist cone, just to let you know.
Mist cone. Is there a save or just damage?
Freezing cone of ice mist. Oh. It just says any frostmen also have the power 3 times per day of radiating a freezing cone of ice mist from one eye.
Right.
When not in use, that eye is usually covered by a patch. The other eye is focusing.
How much does it do damage?
3 to 18. Any creature caught in the mist cone takes 3 to 18 hit points of damage. Oh, here it is. Halved if saving throw versus dragon breath.
All right, here's my saving throw. Let's see if I... 3.
3.
So I failed. So
that's awesome.
3 to 18.
Do we know how many hit points you have?
No, I'm going to figure it out now.
I love it.
Go ahead. So you do the 3 to 18.
All right. Come on. Come on, Christmas spirit. Bring to Santa.
Spirit of the dice.
3.
The average.
6. And a 4.
So 13. All right, here's your hit points.
How many hit dice you have?
8.
Oh, 8.
Love it. 11. 12. 17. 18. 18 and 3, 21. She has 21 hit points. She had 21. What did you do? 10? How much did you do?
Or did I do 4? No, I did like 14, didn't I?
No.
Oh, no, I didn't do it. Okay.
You did 11 points because you rolled a 1, a 6, and a 4.
Okay.
I think. So she has 10 hit points. Now you can do how many hit points you have.
Okay.
Your 4 hit dice.
All right. Come on. That's a 6.
Okay.
A 5. So 11. 16. Whoa. And an 8.
24 hit points. Wow.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
The Frost Man cometh.
All right. So
making an icy delivery.
So you use your blast, and now it's initiative because I moved up the gates. Well, so apparently I'm going to.
Oh yeah, we're declaring.
Yeah, I'm going to. I'm going to try to. I don't think I'm going to stand here and get frost attacked. I'm going to move up to bite you.
Parlay.
No, that's no parlay.
Well, you have a high charisma. All right, I am doing my ice mist again. My mist cone. I can do it 3 times a day.
Yeah.
3 times per day.
I would do it again.
I'm doing a mist cone.
I mean, you assume this is a bad deal. 5.
Yeah, aren't the snakes coming out or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. 2.
So I had to move more than 10 yards, so I moved to close.
Oh.
But now you do the gaze thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're in. That's right. Wait. So now. Oh, that's.
I'm right next to you.
Oh, so I don't have to do a. So if it says saving throw, that means don't have to do it to hit roll. Any creature caught in the mist cone?
It's like a breath weapon. You just So you're pointing at me.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it's a breath weapon.
So it's breath weapon, automatic damage unless you do save is usually just halved. So breath weapons are horrible.
Yes. Well, assuming that everyone's in the cone. Yeah. I mean, you as a DM, you have to either use the theater of the mind or you use miniatures. And so if this is the like a white wolf.
Yeah.
He blasts this way, he wouldn't get these guys. It would just get the guys in the cone.
So you don't give them a chance to dodge out of the way. This cone is coming now. Is she gonna Well, you didn't say you're gonna roll out of the way.
No, I didn't. And also, yep, Frost Cone did 13, 11. Okay, thank you.
I thought it was more. Thank you.
So she has 8 points.
Thank you, minion. You gotta watch this guy.
That's right. 3, 4, 6.
Or at least listen to him.
This is why we have people paying attention. So she has 8 points. Is that correct? She had 21. So now, what you can do, that's a good point, in saving throws, you can use your dexterity for that type of thing.
Very interesting. Tell me more.
Yes.
DM James, where does that come from?
So, and if you had magic armor for certain things, you get your bonuses for that as well.
That's right. I do remember that. That's right. For certain types of, it's not all.
That's right. So, armor. Your saving throw will affect armor bonus against spells which cause physical damage, fire, magical, or otherwise. And if you look at your reaction bonus in dexterity under the player's handbook, it should say something to the effect of you use that as an advantage. Yes.
This is fascinating.
Yeah, we're actually trying to do it by the rules or something.
Okay.
Yeah, defensive adjustment refers to the penalty bonus applicable to a character saving throw against certain forms of attack, fireball, lightning bolts, etc., due to dodging ability.
Oh.
So there you go.
So you would get.
If I had a dexterity, I would use my defensive adjustment.
Well, shouldn't we roll for your dexterity?
No, monsters. Unless it specifically said it, monsters don't have.
Is that right?
In later editions, which we don't know about, they stat all the monsters with their things, so they would have that. And
they had that in Holmes Basic.
They did.
Monsters had dexterity because you needed it for initiative.
Oh, okay.
Whoever had the higher dexterity goes first.
Gotcha. So if we had the dexterity stat, we would use that.
Okay.
So dexterity, but again, it has to be above a 15 to get a bonus.
And so so just to clear, you were reading, I think, from what, page 81 of the DMG?
Yes, page 81 of the DMG regarding magic items and saving throws.
For saving throw modifiers.
Yes.
So the DM can always stipulate ones if they wanted to.
Right.
And then you were reading from what, magical device, various magic items, rings, armor, shields, allow saving throw modifications.
That's right.
They're usually cumulative. Oh, and then, of course, circumstantial adjustments if you wanted to do it.
So typically what happens is, in my campaign, is people have their saving throws. They don't apply these modifiers. They usually use, like, if they have a ring of protection. They fail, and then they start scrambling around to figure out, what about my dex bonus? Does that work? Or how about I got magic plate mail? Will that help with this? And we start adjudicating it. And then sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So yes, and monks can have the dodge area effects attacks. That's one of their very powerful things when we went over monks a few episodes ago. You know, the ability, because they can't attack, and they're basically useless, but they can jump out of attacks.
So the bottom line is you don't see anything from DMG page 81 or on the Dex thing that's going to help you out here in this situation.
No, it's just a straight saving throw. But if I was, on page 11 of the player's handbook.
Right. Well, that's very interesting. I did not know that, so that's very useful.
That's good. So it's a way where you're playing by the rules and giving the player's characters another advantage.
Okay.
Or your monster. So I have to make a straight saving throw.
Right. Are you doing the saving throw first, and then I do damage?
Yeah.
12. We'll have to look that one up, don't we?
Because she's equal to a 6th level fighter. I think she probably failed, but it's close.
And it's against, what was it, Dragon Breath?
Right, breath weapon.
Yeah, it says versus Dragon Breath. Why would they say that? There is no such thing as Dragon Breath.
She needed a 13. So she failed.
Wow.
Right? You need to do 8 points.
Oh, wow. Lady Medusa's going to go down?
This is what this could be. 1.
1.
That's good for her.
4, 5.
3 points. It's got to be less than 3.
2.
2. She's got 1 point. Now it's initiative.
And I've only got one more charge left.
Oh, you have
in my eye. Oh yeah, you got to
gaze. You didn't do your gaze. You didn't roll your gaze attack.
Oh, that's right. Because you're right. I'm sorry.
That's right.
That's right.
You got to do your gaze.
Oh, because wait, you want initiative.
I know, but I moved to close. That's okay. You go first. Oh, now you have to make a saving throw.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Rob, how are you?
6.
6.
Wait, you mean I'm stoned? Things were going so well.
It was going great.
It's like a Hail Mary by you at the last moment.
That's it.
What?
Gaze attack.
I was overconfident.
You were confident.
All right.
Let's make sure.
People owe money.
What's your fighter 4th level? Petrification. Oh, that's too bad. You need a 14.
Wow.
Say goodbye. Done. That's right.
Wow.
Hey, so Rob, hey, thank you. Thank you. Hello from Ireland. Hey, we have Ireland on there. Thank you for the show. Thank you so much for the compliment.
I'm angry. I'm pouting.
Well, what a dramatic turn of events here. Lady Medusa down to 1 point, pulls it out with the gaze. That's why the gaze.
She's 4. Is she 4-0?
She's 4-0.
Whoa.
That was close. That's right. Rip Frosty. Yep.
Oh.
The Frosty Gnome.
Wow. She almost went down.
Can I do that?
Yeah, death of a gnome. Yes. Gnome down. The gnome is fallen.
The gnome
can't get up.
Is that an ice sculpture? No, that's just a frozen statue.
Oh.
Well,
that's right. So the Frost Man is stone now.
He's stone. He's a stone man.
So she's moving on.
She's what?
She's gonna find Santa. Oh my God!
She's
gonna find Santa's lair.
That's right. She's going after Santa's lair.
Wow, this is scary.
Well, I don't see. I mean, what do we do? Do we wait for Vic? Or do we keep moving forward? Anyway, let's keep moving forward.
I think we keep moving forward.
Because that's a surprise thing for us. So, yes. So, again, that was very close. Now, I guess I have a question for our friends out there. Should the champion keep her... Because we know her hit points now, right? Her hit points...
1.
No. Should she keep her 1 hit points? Or should she go back on her next encounter and go back to the hit points that she had?
I like the full hit points.
Okay.
The only reason they can chime in obviously in the chat.
She had 21.
But I mean, I like the idea of, because then you got to find someone who can beat a Medusa. You know, otherwise then everyone's going to be. It'll be. I mean,
hit points. Okay.
That's what I think. I think she's going to rest up.
Right.
She's going to find a yurt.
That's right. The mail, whatever. Okay. Everyone says full. Got it. Okay. So she has 21 hit points. This is her 4th time. That was better than I thought it was going to be.
I'm very disappointed.
No, I thought she was going to win, but
Mm-hmm.
because again, you have that basically a 40% chance and then 50-50. So within 4 or 5 rounds, if you didn't kill her off in another, what it would have been one more round, you would have defeated
That would
her.
have been it.
Yep.
All right.
Excellent. Very good. Okay. So moving to our queen. Yes, that's right. All hail the queen.
Yeah.
So in our word of recall segment, so this is our holiday edition, whatever that means. As you can see, we have various accoutrements. And so we decided...
Unless you're listening, then you can't see it.
That's right, you can't see it.
Then this has no holiday feel. What makes this... If you're listening just at the podcast, what makes this a holiday episode?
Well, it makes it a holiday because I should put Christmas or holiday music on, but then I'm sure there would be some lawsuit. They would ban my YouTube thing, so we're not going to do that. But so we thought about how was D&D and fantasy role-playing games thought of back in the day. And so we went through all the Dragon magazines.
Well, you did, thank you.
Okay, well, this is a collaborative show. We went through all the Dragon magazines, starting with Dragon Magazine 4, all December issues from 1976 to 1984, because that is the approved time frame. Because after 85, we don't know what happened. Is that right?
Yeah, well, I don't even know what you're talking about.
May of 85.
What happens?
Right.
Yeah,
May of 85 is...
It's the world came to an end.
Yeah.
As I know it.
That's right. So the world as we know it. So we went through them all, and I looked for holiday things, and I was really surprised that there was not as much that the master marketing minds of TSR didn't really use their Dragon magazine to sell a bunch of stuff. Mm-hmm. It was pretty skimpy over the 8 years that I reviewed, 9 years I reviewed. In fact, in Dragon 4, which is all about Legends of the Petal Throne, or Legions of the Petal Throne, and the Empire of the Petal Throne, nothing was in there about Christmas or holidays or something on sale. So, but very interesting article, magazine about that. The first thing that you see that's somewhat kind of holiday related, and I remember this, was when The Hobbit came on NBC in 1977. So they had a review of it in Dragon 11, and basically they thought it was a disaster. So they put here, nothing is more disheartening than to see someone spend a great amount of effort, time, and or money on a project to do it wrong or badly. Sadly to say, this is what happened with the Rankin Bass collaboration recently aired on NBC. So they just go through and they say it's horrible, which again, I don't remember it being that great. So
that's rough.
Yeah, they basically butchered it. So there really wasn't...
Merry Christmas.
That's right, Merry Christmas. Your holiday special was garbage. Go stick with Frosty. So then in the first one that really has some discussion is again 21, which came out in December of 78. And the first thing we notice is it actually had a winter theme. The rest of them didn't have a winter theme. So there's a winter themed or a cover with a white dragon fighting that. So at least it's somewhat holiday themed.
Now wait a second. Now I've got a question about this cover.
Yeah.
Because that's a breath, the dragon, the white dragon.
That's right.
That's a breath weapon, right?
Correct. That's right.
And it looks like he's blocking it with his shield. Now, does that mean he's made his save and so it's only going to take half? Because it looks like he's not going to take any damage there, but that would be incorrect, wouldn't it?
That's right. He always takes damage.
Okay, so you just think that's half damage, probably.
Right, and this is an interesting one because it's not clear in the monster manual, and the monster manual says that dragons do damage equal to their hit points. Right, that's what it says. So.
Okay.
But in basic, which is the rule I use, and I think it's the rule that is implied, I don't think it's in the DMG, but maybe it is, or is that it only does damage to its current hit points, which is why the strategy always is, as soon as you see a dragon, either you run or you run up and start beating on it as quickly as you can so that the damage to your breath weapon is not as devastating. Well,
the latter makes more sense to me because if you're a dragon with one hit point, it seems like you're just kind of coughing out a little bit of flame or whatever.
And when we were in our last campaign, hey, this is John. Hello, John. Welcome. So John called us on the Grog line last week, and I'd missed that.
Well, it so rarely happens.
So, and in fact, he just called. Oh, he wanted to wish us a good Christmas and a Great New Year. You know what? I got to turn this thing on. Here's the problem, John, and I apologize. If I turn this on, all my little text and beeps and everything else, and people are like, why is that thing in there?
Right.
So I do apologize. I need to leave this right here. So if you want to call and get on, just let me. We would be happy to talk to you. So John and I had a great conversation after last week's show. We were talking about using thieve things and when to do various items on that. So very good. Thank you so much. Minion, I thought it was in the rules too. I cannot find it. I can only find it in the basic edition. So if someone knows where it is, that'd be great. It's not in the description of the Monster Manual.
But in the Monster, but it says it's. I mean, isn't that subject to interpretation? Because it doesn't say it's hit points. So in other words, does the
I know we're talking about holiday special. But
this is the holiday special. Well, we're talking. This is White Dragon. Wait, there's a White Dragon on the cover.
Yep.
We never digress. So wait, is it an interpretation issue that it says hit points, and then the question is?
Well, it says that on the page 30, the breath weapon causes damage equal to the dragon's hit points.
Yeah, but that could mean current hit points.
Well, it could be, but it doesn't say that here. Whereas in the basic, Moldvay basic, it says current hit points.
Well, you should ask Luke Gygax that tomorrow.
Well, I will. Well, I'm obsessed with gnomes. I'm not.
Are you going to ask him about gnomes?
Absolutely. Who was the person who introduced gnomes, and why were they not banished from Wisconsin? That's my question I'll be asking.
Why did gnomes make? Yeah. So why did gnomes make it in there at all? Right. Why did they become a PC?
Right.
They were in. I think they were in Holmes Basic as a monster.
That's exactly, and that's where they should have been left. A demon creature that should be eradicated from civilization, but instead their subversive ways got in,
and they're proliferating now.
Yeah, and that's where I got it from. So Menion said I got it from the Red Box. That's where I got it from.
Well, I think it says it's hit points. It's so let's talk about semantic, right? So if you said to me, if you were in the middle of combat and you said to me, what is its hit points? The dragon's hit points.
Yes.
Wouldn't a reasonable person believe you were asking what its current hit point total is?
I hear your point, but I think we don't adjust damage on anything else. And that's been one of the criticisms of D&D, is that a 10th level fighter with 100 hit points versus a 10th level fighter with 1 hit points, they do the same amount of damage.
Well, when Gary said, at least for PCs, it's not actual damage, right? It's like waiting for the death, you're being worn down. It's not actually being hit, right? Then it's the death blow.
But people have, that's been a criticism of that you're, and part of it is to avoid the death spiral of, which is already bad enough. If you have 5 players versus 5 monsters and they each have equal attacks, as soon as you lose one person, the party loses because it accelerates the defeat. You're still getting attacked 5 times versus 4, and then 4 begets 3, and you can't ever catch up typically if they're evenly
literally
matched.
The death spiral.
Right. So I get that, but that's why it was not clear, because we don't typically, the attacks don't change because of their hit points. But yes, you could argue that.
Okay. Yeah. See that sentence there.
But it is in the basic.
The red one, Moldvay.
And it may be in Holmes Basic too. I don't remember, because I can't remember Holmes Basic. So anyway, yes, this would be based on if the dragon has been hit. That's how much damage. And in this scenario, what's interesting is this cone is not the same as it would be.
They got the wrong cone?
Yeah, it should be a much bigger blast.
And the Monster Man, right? It doesn't seem like a very big blast.
No, it's not. So if you go to White Dragon...
And I assume he's blasting out ice or something, or cold as well?
It's a cone of cold frost, 70 foot long with a base diameter of 2.5 inches, so that'd be 25 feet.
Oh, so the Frost Man is like, whoa, wish I had that cone.
Exactly.
Right?
That's a big blast. So his friend here is with the double-sided axe. For those, you see 2 fighting men, right? Fighting men? That's the...
Fighting mans.
Fighting mans would be fighting this dragon. Okay. So... it has a winter theme cover, and there's a book review of the Silmarillion, which I thought, when did the Silmarillion come out? Why would they have a book review in 1970?
I thought it was published later, wasn't it? It wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, I don't think it was ever supposed to be, but there's a review. There's a review of that in there.
Is it more favorable than The Hobbit? Do you remember?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. The book was well reviewed.
They're not like Tolkien, give up.
No, that's right. You should stop this.
Stick with your teaching job.
But one of our idols, Jim Ward, has an article about the Monty Hall adventure. They talk about that and how the Monty Hall DM changed to become a deadly encounter. So I just thought that was interesting with that. So the next one, finally, you have a Christmas theme in Dragon 32, which is in 1979. There's a nice picture of the traditional Christmas house, and I guess someone asked for real live action toy soldiers, and they're fighting each other. And the poor child. Did you ever wear striped pajamas like that?
No, he looks like a candy cane.
Right, he looks like a giant candy cane.
I don't. Okay, so I like the other cover better. I mean, if I want a dragon cover, I want a monster on it
and a dragon on it.
A dragon would be great. Something like from the Monster Manual where somebody's being eaten by a frog.
Right.
Usually, the PCs are dying.
That's right.
This is too real world. Well, I know it's not really real world since everyone's attacking each other. These toys are, but yeah, I'm not in love with this cover. I mean, I'm sure the art is fine, but it just.
Well, it was a winner of the IDDC thing, but was so the only.
Well, I think that's the adventure, isn't it?
Oh,
I think
okay.
the IDDC is the Fell Pass. I think I know that. Okay, I looked at this was 40 years ago. This is now. This is now. It's December 1979.
Correct.
I think the Fell Pass, right there, right? That was the winning.
This is it. Oh, this is the winner. I got you.
I've not run the Fell Pass. Have you run?
And it's got like that may be interesting.
Have you run the Fell Pass?
No, I have not.
Yeah.
This was before my time.
I looked for this guy because I wanted to invite him on the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's from San Diego. I don't think I had any good leads on him.
Well, I'm looking for, because I saw it in here. So this is the first holiday themed thing they try to sell, which is a calendar, the 1980 calendar that you can buy for $6.50.
Oh, we should fill it out and send it in.
That's right. Where is it? See, do you think they'll send it back?
We'll probably get a polite letter.
We'll get a polite letter
from Wizards of the Coast.
Please stop. You realize this was 40 years ago.
Yes. You think you're funny, but you're not.
You're not funny. You're in fact, you're anti-funny. Well, I guess there was a buy 3 get 1 free article. But yeah, so there's for $6.50 plus 50-cent shipping, you can get a 1980 calendar, and it has here Days of the Dragon 1980 calendar. So it looks like some red dragon is sitting there, and you will know. I know you'll have no famous facts like. Did you know the first human cannonball act was successfully performed in 1887?
What's that got to do with D&D?
I don't know.
Shouldn't it be like Frostmen are discovered? Stuff like that this year?
Right.
We need to look on Amazon. I think for next year we need the 1980 calendar.
I would like
Wouldn't that be awesome? But it's probably going to be expensive.
$400.
Well, just use our Patreon money.
We're not spending Patreon money on that.
The 1980 calendar. Next year's 1980.
I will see. Okay. We'll see if we can get a copy of it. And so for a whole year, Days of the Dragon will be functional, informative, entertaining, and decorative. Be advised, though, that quantities are limited, aka it's going to be very expensive.
Yeah.
If you can't find the 1980 Days of the Dragon you normally buy the Dragon magazine, order directly from TSR. $6.50 plus 50 cents postage and handling. Remember it was postage and not shipping? That's interesting. Okay, and it will allow 3 to 4 weeks from delivery. So we should send our $7 in now, and next month we should.
Well, that guy did the adventure that my friend Joe in Philadelphia wanted me to find, You Bet Your Life Again, and I found an advertisement for it.
Okay.
And I filled it out.
Oh, yeah.
The order form, and I sent it in with a check for like $6.
Right.
To the guy, because we found his address, and he did call, and he was going to send it to me at that time.
Yeah, but then never happened.
And he only has a landline.
Right.
So he's hard to get a hold of.
Right.
He doesn't answer. But
perhaps he's disconnected after you were harassing
He now only has a landline.
He doesn't have any line. He's disconnected. He doesn't want to be bothered by you anymore.
Okay.
So, and then the next year, Dragon 44, the thing that was interesting was a Douglas Loss attempted to give race and class to Old St. Nick Santa Claus. So he spends his article discussing, he thinks, obviously legend says he's a jolly old elf, but he feels like there should be some halfling in there. So I'm not sure of a halfling elf half-breed. That's kind of interesting. Thinks he should be a magic user of extremely high level. Well, how level could it be if they're an elf? They can only be 11th level.
That's right. You have level limits.
They have level limits.
Can deities extend level limits? I don't think they can.
He has mirror image on himself, he says. His sleigh and reindeer, I guess that's to prevent him from being detected. He has darkness on his reindeer, a permanent night spell, he calls it. He has no alignment. He uses Wizard Eye. What else does he say?
He has no alignment.
That's what he's saying.
Santa's not good?
No, he has no alignment, so he can detect who's good and who's evil.
Oh, I thought you said he has no alignment.
Oh, no,
K-N-O-W.
Yeah, no.
N-O.
Yeah, he's had no alignment.
He's neutral.
Amoral. He's beyond morality.
Because I'm like, I know there's a naughty nice list.
Yeah, that's right. So, and then they did, a good paragraph or two on the alignment. So what alignment do you think he came up with for Santa Claus?
Oh, Santa's gotta be, come on, Santa's lawful good.
Why would he be lawful good?
Because he believes in rules, not kids just running around doing whatever they want. Kids need to obey their parents. There's a hierarchy.
Many scholars, so I would put you in that, opt for the immediate thought of lawful good. His argument is neutral good. And this is why. So he says, the regular repetition of the kindly acts he does each year precludes any sort of chaotic, but a close description of those acts must lead to the conclusion that some of them are not lawful. He lands on the roof of a house and enters it through the chimney, a clear case of illegal entry. You should appreciate that.
It's a whole debate. Is he invited? If you have a tree, you're inviting Santa. I think he has permission. Don't you think?
Well, we don't know if he only goes. Does he only go to places that have a tree? I don't think so.
So does Santa show up at houses where people don't want him there?
Perhaps he goes to all houses and then he's like a voyeur, and then he decides once he gets there if he's going to leave presents.
Okay.
I don't know. These are questions that need to be answered. He also attempts to ruin the economy because he leaves a multitude of gifts that are not carefully considered, could mess up the economy of the planet.
Yeah, I understand that it's just the whole Christmas is inefficient.
Right.
Gift giving is inefficient.
Right. And he's,
but the elves need jobs.
That's right.
See, it's
a
like,
jobs
but then it's a sub. So what you're saying is Christmas is an elf subsidy program. It's an elf welfare program.
Elves work program. That's right. That's perhaps if they didn't, they would run amok. Mm-hmm. And so, but that's his argument.
Okay.
Right? So, but you say lawful good, and you would be with the scholars. So he thinks he's a cleric, high-level, neutral good, elven halfling cleric magic user. What do you think about that?
Now, if he's a cleric, who's his patron deity?
That is a good question. I'm not sure why. Because he's known as Saint Nicholas. While he's never been known to use standard cleric spells, I think we have strong evidence of cleric as one of those classes.
So the Pope? Does he report to the Pope?
So it says, he's obviously a religious man, as his principal appearances coincide with the winter solstice religious festival. So he could be a druid almost.
Oh, I can see druid.
If it's not a traditional Christian mythos, it was just more of a winter solstice kind of thing. And he's known as Saint Nicholas. So, so either druid or
assassin.
Druid assassin.
He's a druid assassin.
I don't think he's a druid assassin. Who's he murdering?
Well, that's right. You have to be evil.
That's right.
That's Krampus.
That's right.
Krampus is an assassin.
Absolutely, without a doubt. He's a totally
illusionist assassin. He's a gnome illusionist assassin.
He's totally an assassin. So, okay. So if you want to read about that, that's in Dragon 44. Then in Dragon 56, we have... Again, basically, there's 8 pages of reviews of games, and 'tis the season to be reading. This seems to be a theme in the later ones, where they do book reviews to basically. So the idea is, your kids need to, your friends who are into D&D, they like reading fantasy books. Here are the books you get them.
Okay, well, that's probably useful.
Right. So,
but here's the problem: is you'd have to be a parent. You'd have to be like realizing you should be reading Dragon magazine.
Right.
The kids are reading this. I guess you could tell your parents. I want this.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
Do you recognize any of these? I don't.
Space Merchants, Distant Stars, The Wonderful Lips of Something Lim. I don't remember these. But there's 8 pages of that to review.
Wow. That's a lot of pages.
Yeah, you can review that as well. And so that's what from that one. Then we get into, again, Dragon 68 doesn't have a Christmas theme. It's just a dragon, go figure, on the cover. And it says, 'tis the season for literary gifts. So here we have Jim Hogan and some other folks, Confessions of a Crap Artist. I don't know what that is. But I wonder.
You want to read? Oh, I'll get that for you next year.
The Darkling by David Kesterton. Frank Herbert, we know that, the White Planet.
Yeah, from Dune, right.
and Shadows of Sanctuary.
Oh, that's Thieves. That's Thieves World.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's some of these that are here. So again, interesting stuff. Then
that's what we should do for next year.
What?
The guests, we each get one or each other a book from that list.
A book from that list? Okay.
Okay.
That sounds
I gotta
good.
remember it though.
Yeah, that's a year from now.
That's a long time. Yeah, right. We could be dead.
Wow.
I have 3 years. You have more. We roll for that.
That's true. I have 11.
I'll get you.
I'll
get you 8 extra bucks.
So did 3 years start this year or it starts next year?
That's a good question.
Because you may be down to 2 years.
That's right.
Should I start training your replacement now?
Yeah.
If you want to be here on the show,
I should
info at grogcon.com.
I can interview my replacement because I'm going to die.
How are you feeling, Dan? I don't know. I'm doing okay.
But I'm going to do my job.
That's right.
I need a replacement.
Excellent. I love it. Well, I appreciate your dedication to the show. You're not just going to die without having a
I'm going to give notice.
Thank you. 2 years.
2 years. I'm giving my 2 years notice.
Awesome.
I will be dead.
I appreciate that because we don't want the show. Our fans and friends would not want that to happen.
The dice don't lie.
Right. This is like 2.5 Men, right? When you're the original Charlie Sheen, and the other guy shows up.
I don't
watch that show. I didn't watch it either, but I knew something. I'm the guy who's the straight man, basically. Okay, so we talked then in Dragon 80, December of 83. The only discussion here is gifts for monsters in the Phil and Dixie area. So it talks about zombies are also hard to buy for. What do you get an indestructible dead person? Get them a tie. Zombies are terrible dressers. And so they have a picture of that. Vampires are difficult to shop for because they're a monster who has everything. We suggest either a wake-up service or, since they hate this problem with mirrors, a portrait. So there you go. That's some of the examples.
Yeah,
so it's 1980s humor, very exciting stuff. So they talk about molds and jellies, and it wasn't that great. So there you go. Finally, in Dragon 92, there was actually something I would have liked back then, which was they had an advertisement for, it was the 10-year anniversary of TSR in Dragon December of 84.
Oh, yes, indeed it was.
And so they had a special, look for the yellow label, at participating retailers, up to 65% off dozens of popular TSR products. It was a huge celebration. So if you would have bought a hardcover book,
Against the Giants,
you would get Village of Hamlet, Hidden Shrine of Tamakuan, and The Dwellers of Forbidden City, and all the G series for $6.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
What do you think about that?
We gotta look for that label.
Right. Well, it's right there.
That sounds great.
And it was good for a year.
So we should print that label out.
That's right.
Tape it to go to the bookstore
and see if they'll give it to us.
I don't think we're going to find that package.
No, and the other problem is it expired December 31st, 1985.
Oh, they were smart.
They put an expiration.
Yeah.
They realized this was going to go on. So 10 years packed. Wouldn't that be? You'd have to pay $60 for all those things.
Wait, was this in 1984?
This was in December of 1984.
So you get that thing that lasts for a year.
It was the 10-year anniversary. They started with
the whole year is that's very nice.
Right, and they show you. This is also fascinating. In the early Dragons, they had a list of DMs who registered, kind of like not a sex offender list, but a DM offender.
Stay
list.
away from these DMs. Don't go to these DMs' houses for a game.
They had a list of these people that you could DM because apparently, there weren't enough DMs.
That's awesome. So it's Florida. What do we got
Florida. Well, you should see. This is what I was going to mention. So here it is.
Yeah, but I don't think I've looked at these before, and there never seems. There is. Enterprise 1701.
That's right.
What's the Fantasy Apothecary? I've never heard of that.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. The Fantasy Apothecary.
I don't know. I've never heard of that. I need to inquire. I need to investigate. Enterprise 1701, of course, which is now Sci-Fi City. Sure, I used to go there all the time, of course.
Yep. So there it is. Those are the two areas that you could go and get this deal back then.
Yes. So I need to. We need to. The next game at Sci-Fi City, we need to bring this label in.
Right, and see if they'll give it.
And say to Troy, the manager there.
Right.
Here's my $6.
That's right.
Where's my bundle?
Sure. Well, you have to buy a hardcover book too.
Okay.
You can do that. I think you could.
Okay.
All right.
Where's your first edition hardcover? Oh, actually, they have been reprinted, haven't they?
They have been.
Can you just walk in and find?
Well, they were printed 6 years ago. You can't find them. They're really hard to find. Those
already?
Yes.
Wow.
They got really expensive because they were new. We need. That's right. We do need a time machine. So I also just started looking through White Dwarf to see how, and the number that I found didn't really have a whole lot of holiday things. The only thing I did see in White Dwarf 48, and I posted this on Twitter, was there was a contest that that was posted. And let me see if I can. So, enter Games Workshop Christmas Adventure Competition, where you could win a gift voucher worth 500 Ls.
Pounds.
Oh, pounds. That's what
Yeah.
that is.
Yes.
Imperial credits or whatever they're called.
Yes. Games Workshop dollars.
That's right. Games Workshop.
How much is this module? 500 Games Workshop dollars.
Right.
What?
Wow, this got really expensive. So yeah, this is.
But you didn't. But what you report out is you have not discovered a winner.
Right.
That was probably. We must find this.
Right. I want to know the adventure. What?
Absolutely.
To me, that would be amazing.
It sounds like there was no winner.
Right.
They're all bad.
Yeah. Or it was like what we do. We have a contest and we just never finish it up. In fact, I have to do tomorrow. I'm glad you reminded me. Steve Herring, I got to send him his Dragon magazine. I got to get that out. So I got to put that on my list of things to do.
Yes, I would love to know if someone won this contest and where is the adventure. That's kind of rough though. Like, what if only a few people submitted them?
Right.
And then
Games
Games Workshop.
Garbage.
Yeah, and Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone were like, no, these are
horrible.
We can't.
Rubbish.
Everyone is below just a minimum competency level for publication.
Right. This looks like 500 Imperial credits would be awesome. So if you know about this, please let us know. Because what we wanted to do was run a holiday themed.
And please,
adventure.
If you submitted an entry and you didn't win,
right.
and you now let us know too. What is
right.
this? We're not judging.
We're not judging. We just want to see, and we understand you did that 35 years
ago.
We'll
publish it.
I would definitely publish it. We get Carlos to publish it.
This did not win.
Carlos would edit it, and it would be Castle Entertainment. Of course, if he thinks it's not good, then we can't help you there.
His standards are probably higher than
they're way higher than ours.
And Games Workshop.
That's
back
it.
In the day, perhaps I don't know.
All right, but another interesting thing that happened 40 years ago, which you reminded me of, is the 40th anniversary of
B2.
That's right.
Keep on the Borderlands was published in December
of 1979.
So 40 years ago, this month, the Keep on the Borderlands was published. Did you go through this, James, back in the day?
Yes, many times.
I did not. And I have something embarrassing, I have to admit. I always thought it was keep on the Borderlands. So what I thought that was a verb. I thought keep was a verb.
Oh.
So I thought, like, you need to stay on the path.
Right.
Keep on the Borderlands.
Yeah.
Don't stray from the Borderlands, which made sense to me, right?
Right.
I mean, you don't want to be wandering off.
Right, exactly.
But so only when I started playing again and I decided to run this, because I knew it was iconic. It was so famous. I'm like, well, I want to run this. We'll learn why do the players need to keep on the Borderlands? Right. And then I discovered there was a key.
There's actually the key.
Yes. So I think we didn't play this back in the day, perhaps because it was in the basic set. And so maybe, I'm just speculating, maybe we sort of veered away from it because it wasn't AD&D.
Well, for our group, we definitely played it because it was a module. And I think at the time, there literally was not a whole, at the game store, there was like you see in a lot of places. If you go to Walmart or Target or any large retailer, they don't have a large selection. They may have a couple of books or they have the starter set. So in the bookstores that were near my house, there was the red box, and maybe a player's handbook, maybe a DMG, and maybe a monster manual.
Yeah, what's interesting is they actually tell you on the back, everything I guess that's available can fit on the back here. So this is not a lot. I mean, and you're obviously not going to necessarily have all of this.
Right.
So yeah, you didn't have a lot of modules. And actually, I think one of the criticisms, if I recall correctly, of the early modules is that so many of them were high level. Yeah. Right? Because a lot of them were tournament, like the G Series tournament. There weren't a lot of low-level models. Like, let's go through. The G series is all high-level, right? Yep. Obviously, the D, of course, because it comes after G, and the Q as well, of course. Yep. C1, Hidden Shrine of...
It's 4 through 7.
Thank you for saying that before I had to pronounce that. No, T1 was the AD&D low-level. One, and I went through T1. I remember that. And then the...
and see, we didn't, because we got this box, And after we did it, we basically made our own modules because we didn't want to spend the money on other things.
So you got this box. You got this with the basic set.
Yes.
So you started with the basic set before AD&D.
That's right.
Got it. The red box. So you like the red. So you got
the mold
vey.
Yep.
And that's right, because this started. Its first, I believe, was in Holmes Basic, and then very quickly, once mold vey came out, it got moved into.
Yep. And
into
so
mold
that,
vey.
I still have my original mold vey.
That's great.
In there. This is the original.
And the S, which of course just is special, right? They're not connected. Tomb of Heart is obviously crazy high level. White Plume Mountain is high, and Expedition to the Barrier Peaks is high as well, I believe, right? Or at least they're not low level.
Oh, yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're at least 6 level.
So if you want to have a low level module, unless you were looking for found something in Dragon magazine, like Citadel by the Sea or something like that, it was Keep on the Borderlands and Village of Hamlet.
That's right.
What did you think of Keep on the what did you and what do you think of Keep on the Borderlands now?
So back then, I thought it was great. As far as it was what we wanted, a thing with lots of monsters that was relatively easy to run, and you know, and there was this thing of if they picked the wrong cave, death could come quickly, which I thought was really super cool.
Did you notice? I was reading this last night, and I noticed that Gary says that you might want to give the players, like somebody in the keep, gives them advice that you want to stick to lower level.
Right.
Which I always thought was interesting because, well, number one, it's so Gary's trying to say, try to avoid that from happening, right? That you wander into the temple
ogre,
of evil.
Spoilers, right? We may say some spoilers here. It has been 40 years. We feel
right.
Like.
If you haven't played it by now, and but I always wondered, well, why does that guy know about it? So they know about they know. Well, why does this guy sitting at the bar know?
Right.
About it. But I'm sorry. So yeah. So it delivered what you were looking for back in.
Well, it did, and it was a common thing of reference. I mean, you can see here that this was, even though it's my module, someone else rewrote some of the things. They rewrote some of the rumors.
I wonder if this is the first example of a rumor table, because the rumor tables became quite popular, right? I mean, I know Vic Dorso, even in a recent game, in the Keep of Blood Red Falls, you go to the bar, you ask people stuff, and you see him rolling behind the screen. Sounds like he's got a rumor table.
Exactly.
So I wonder if this is the first one. This is interesting. This person changed some of these to false. They must have changed the adventure up, because an ogre sometimes helps the cave dwellers. He says false. He must have changed that up.
Yeah.
The ogre's not helping the cave dwellers. If you get lost, beware the eater of men. Oh, he took out the, is that the owlbear or minotaur?
It's the owlbear or the minotaur, yeah.
True, a fair maiden is imprisoned within the cave. So he put a fair maiden in the caves.
Yep.
He or she.
He.
And, how can you do this? He changed Briark.
How about that?
Briark is Goblin language for we surrender. Of course, it's the alarm.
Yeah.
Which, of course, is now quite well known.
That's right.
Briark. He changed it to Aurak. Why would he do that?
I don't know. Maybe he changed language. Because it was my module, but I gave it to,
Who?
I think it was Kenny or Chris.
You got to contact them.
Okay, one's on Facebook.
Do you have their number now?
Hey, Bucky, have a good night.
Good night, Bucky.
Oh, sorry, Minion, good night. I apologize. Yes, you have to work. We'll catch up on the podcast. Yes, sir. Good seeing you.
They should give him, come on, it's Christmas week. They should give him an
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you, sir.
Beware the caves with skulls. Okay, but so yeah, at a rumor table.
So people adjusted it as they wanted to.
Right. I thought...
And so he put in, obviously he statted some of the things, and you can tell that if you look, like he made an illusionist magic user.
Right, yeah, what's he doing?
Mindak Alhert. So he obviously used advanced D&D's things here. So
he was doing, because that's,
And that's what we did. We eventually got the advanced things, and we just changed it to make it AD&D.
Right, and when I ran it recently, about 2.5 years ago,
right,
I ran it as AD&D.
Yep.
So I think one of the things that's interesting about this is that I think that, number one, it's obviously beloved. People love this, I think, in large part because for so many people, it was the first adventure they ever went through. It is also, there's not a lot of information in it, right? So the NPCs are not well fleshed out.
They don't even have names.
They don't even have names, just the bailiff, the jewel merchant, whatever. And you're not given any information as to why the monsters are in these caves. Why are they all there together?
Yep.
So close together. What's going on? And I guess the idea, the sense I get, is that Gary was trying to keep it basic.
Yep.
You're supposed to be able to take this. You've never played D&D before. You're a DM. What do I do?
Right.
And run it. So it's not supposed to be overwhelming.
That's right.
You're not supposed to think too much, right? You just you go, you kill. You don't ask a lot of questions about why are the hobgoblins next to the orcs, whatever. But it does also, I know a lot of people really like it too, because if you are an experienced DM, it gives you a lot of opportunity to be creative, right? To why are they next to each other? To have a real good backstory, a lot of intrigue with the keep. And so I guess for a lot of people, they really like it because it works on both levels.
Yes,
right?
That's right. It's simple in that if you're not going to ask a lot of questions, more importantly, your players are not going to ask a lot of questions. We have to go back to that time frame where I think it would be more difficult to run now in some ways because a lot of younger players have been conditioned by computer games, so they have the computer game phobia where it's not a list of options, but they're also used to reading a lot of narrative. When they interact with the NPC, there's a whole bunch of story that they do, where here you don't have a whole bunch of story. So I'm curious, you have, what is the reference point? People played Monopoly and Risk and this type of thing. They don't really have a reference point. So simple, go to the dungeon, fight monsters, and get them out is a pretty simple narrative. And most people are not going to be like, well, why is this keep here? Or, what's the Castilians' background? How many fourth generation? You could do all that, but you don't not necessarily to start with this.
Well, that's right. That's right. And it did sort of set up this iconic, you have a home base.
Right.
Right, and you venture out, and you come back, and you can level up, and you can recuperate, and then you head back in. And so it permits that. What surprised me is, a lot of people have called this, sort of perhaps, a sandbox, a mini sandbox, and it really is, because this is not, if you're looking for an introductory adventure for a single night and to be done, I don't know that this is necessarily the best adventure, right? Because you've got a lot of caves.
Yes, you can't finish this in one session.
No, we were running it all summer.
Right.
I think the better introductory adventure is probably the sample dungeon from Holmes.
Right, the Xenopus one.
The Xenopus one, because it's shorter. This one would take longer. There's a lot of caves, so if you're going to run this one, keep in mind that there's a lot to do here. You could be there for a very long time. And
that was the value that I think it was. It was that you could run a whole summer. If you had this box, you were off for the summer, this could be everything you needed. And when your guys were done, they were 3rd or 4th level.
I do think that, I would think that at a certain point you want to start fleshing out background and things because, I don't know, can you really, how many sessions? I don't know, maybe for a long time, session after session of going in and killing the baddies and getting gold and going out. Maybe when you're first learning D&D, you can do that for a long time and it's a lot of fun.
Right.
When I ran this, I think I was not in a great place to run this because I was kind of in between. I'd never DM'd before. I hadn't played D&D for about 29 years, so I needed something pretty basic. In the same vein, I was older, I had played D&D, so I understood and appreciated a good backstory and, well, why are monsters here? But it didn't have that, but I didn't know if I was really supposed to, what I was supposed to do with it. Was I supposed to flesh it out? Should I be creating a big backstory and changing the module? I think in retrospect, I now realize, that's what you should do, right? A good DM takes it and runs with it and makes it interesting and fleshes it out. And I was just trying to learn, what a saving throw was. So
that's right.
I really
getting back into it.
Right. So I was sort of not, and I had advanced players who were used to things that were more sophisticated. So I don't know. In retrospect, I don't know if it was the best adventure to run for me, right at getting back into the game. But
there's more prep than you probably would have wanted to do.
To be sure. In retrospect, I should have run Tower of Xenopus.
Yeah.
Like 12 rooms or something.
Right, 12 rooms, and you go here, you do this.
Exactly.
And you get out.
It was a lot of prep. Just prep, not in terms of what's the backstory, just like, okay, where are the traps, what's in the caves. And what was really hard is I didn't know what cave anyone was going to go into.
Right.
So I had to be ready every adventure
for the whole thing.
Every cave. So I was reading this thing, the whole thing, before every session.
Right.
And at the end of the month, I'm like, I can't take it anymore. I just emptied the caves, had them attack the keep.
I love that. That was great.
Well, it was fun because I couldn't take it anymore. I'm like, I cannot read as good as it is.
Right.
I mean, I've literally probably read this module probably 10 times.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and it's interesting that, to your point, that it's too large for an entry-level introductory module because it's so pervasive. And it assumes, I mean, today what's interesting, and I like to think special instructional module.
Yeah.
In that, I think probably also the history is that someone is going to take action. Whereas today, yes, there's someone who bought the box, they're kind of the first mover, but they may not want to be the DM. The idea is let's all play, and then someone who wants to be the DM, they kind of move up and do that. Here, the assumption is you're the DM for your group. Maybe someone will come later, but you're the one who's going to, you've signed up for a whole bunch of things. So we're going to give you how to become that. You've accepted this role, even though you don't have no idea what you signed up for.
So you've agreed to be a DM.
That's right.
Well, and we'd be remiss, I think, if we didn't talk about, which I think is one of the best parts of the module, and was actually quite useful for me, because I had not been a DM before, is that all of this advice for DMs, right? I mean, so one of the great things, even if you don't plan on running Keep of the Borderlands, I think the information that Gary, and it's great to see his insights into DMing back in the day. I mean, a lot of this DMs obviously now I know all this. This is trite at this point, but back in the day, if you were a new DM, it was kind of neat to see. Gary's like, if they miss a secret they miss a secret door. They miss a secret door. Right. Don't give things to your players. If they go into the wrong cave, so be it. They've gone into the wrong cave, kind of stuff. So it was interesting, though, to see Gary's insights. Play the monsters intelligently. I remember he recommended, which of course was famous advice for him, or if they're stupid, play them is not very smart. Right. And they'll repopulate the caves. So if they leave, stuff's still happening back at the caves. So I thought his advice for DMing was really good. And that's probably, of the whole thing, that's probably my favorite part of B2.
He says here, and I like some of the advice better in B2 than some of it in the DMG, because the DMG almost comes off as the insider trading, insider's guide to DMing, where you're part of the secret club, and it's you against there's almost an antagonistic kind of thing. You're the maker of worlds, and
and if you're a player reading this,
yes,
you should be
death.
Instant
That's right.
death.
I've told you that many times. If you quote from that, it's death, page 8, not the chapter.
Right. Here, do I get a saving throw?
No, there's no. It's
instant death,
both physical and virtual death. But here he talks about, like you said, that he should be neutral. That you're not out to get the players. It's not a us versus them. And within this page and a half or half a page, fair. Give the monsters a break. If they do dumb things, there should be consequences. If they do good things, don't be sad if they do that. Very good guide. And in fact, not necessary to have 300-page DMG. I mean, the DMG is wonderful treatise because it spawns imagination. But that's right. Just trying to read the modules. DM would be a curse. Absolutely.
Well, what was nice, too, is I think there was information. I don't know if it's been pulled out of here. I know that there was a little cheat sheet on what you needed to hit and saving throws and all that as well.
That may have got pulled out.
That may have gotten pulled out.
Yeah, it really had everything you needed. You didn't need anything else. I mean, you could use the red rule book, but it had pretty much everything you need.
Even a glossary.
Right, which again is a good thing, because a lot of these terms, if you weren't into the fantasy literature, I didn't know what a Castilian was.
No, and I didn't know how to pronounce it. And there's tips for players too. And what I thought was interesting too is that Gary here says that the party, number one, they need a marching order, and that's a classic. What's your marching order? And they should have a caller, which I don't think we did back in the day. I don't know that many groups do that, but Gary said you should have a caller. Tips for the players should be organized and cooperative. So we should probably, before every game, read this.
Right, like a sacred reading of the text.
Yes, all read this out, right? All together, let's read this,
now the listening of the word.
Players should be organized and cooperative. Each player should have complete information on his or her character easily on hand, and should supply the DM with this information quickly and accurately if asked. As parties will usually involve a variety of alignments and classes, players should work together to use their abilities effectively. Arguing among players will cause delays, attract monsters, and often result in deaths of some or all of the members. Gee, do you get a sense that, like, how Gary already was experiencing this with his groups, right? They're bickering. They're like, you have this image of like, it's sort of like holy, this group, and they're amazing. My guess is the players that Gary had were like, ways, everyone else, except better. More better. Still in many respects.
But they were making the game up as it goes, too. It wasn't a situation of, you can't say, well, who said so? Well, I said so. Who are you? Well, I made the game up. Well, that's, in one way, that's, it's kind of like the biblical thing of, you're Joseph's carpenter's son. You're not, anyone special. We've known you, Gary, for 30 years.
Would be a great question for Luke Igax tomorrow night. Like, did people argue with Gary over rulings and interpretations?
You're just an author. I mean, you're a guy, you lived here. That doesn't make you special.
Did they argue over interpretations? He's like, I wrote this.
That's right. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's written there. Now it's anyone's to interpret.
But who are I? Challenge your authority. I'm curious about that.
I don't believe in original understanding, original intent.
That's right.
I believe in a living constitution, living DMG.
That's right, living DMG.
Okay, ready? This really does give insight to how it was always this way. Cooperation should also be given to the DM.
Yes.
We need to read this in our games. He or she is the judge of the game, and his or her decisions are final. If a player disagrees...
Was that in quotes? Final?
Right. No. He or she should calmly state why and accept whatever the DM decides. Shouting, crying, pouting. You need to post this on like every game that you run on Meetup.
That's right.
You need to like post this as a reminder, right? We need to have little cards made up of this, hand them out. Shouting, crying, pouting, or refusing to accept decisions only angers the other players. The game should be fun for all involved. Not everything will go the way the players want it. Wow. This sounds like a fun group.
40 years ago, same thing. Nothing's changed.
Well, and you like this too. Equipment. Planning is another important part of play. Players should be well equipped. Comparing each member's list. So many groups, they pick their equipment at the beginning. They don't talk to each other. Like, who has the torch? Rope, oil, torches, spikes, and all other items should always be carried. Should plan their spells. All right. So I think that's the best part of this module.
There's pluses and cons, but it's iconic, and it's been 40 years. It's been redone a number of times. They've done it for almost every edition. They've redone it. Because of what it is. And I think the big part of it, as we've talked about, is it's a frame of reference for all people who play Dungeons & Dragons. They know the Minotaur. They know the White. They know the Briarch. It's a common lore that we can spread. The Mad Hermit. All these things are part of our lore that allows us to talk it. It's almost an introductory course. So it's, again, 40 years ago. That's pretty awesome. All right.
Okay.
So I think your next thing is choose your own adventure. Well, I'm not sure what you call this thing.
It is basically like choose your own adventure. So this is from First Encounter magazine, which was Canada's coast-to-coast fantasy and gaming.
Shout out to our friends in Canada.
And we'll be having Kelly Villamere on the show.
Wonderful.
In January.
Excellent.
He produced, along with others, the First Encounter magazine. And so I noticed, these are very hard to find, but I noticed this one was available. And one of the features was, have you ever played a gnome fighter illusionist trying to save your village?
And I currently do. Weekly Pew is a fighter illusionist, so
This is perfect. You're the perfect student for this. And this is designed, well, I'll read what it says. It says, the have you. So this is known as the have you column.
Would you rather, basically.
Right. Which will appear in almost every issue of this magazine, is a quiz. There's nothing like taking a quiz.
Nothing says fun like quizzing.
Right? My students love it. Okay. Is a quiz designed to test your skill as a fantasy role player. Plus to test your knowledge of AD&D rules, monsters, etc., as per the TSR handbooks. This mini test or quiz offers adventure in various caverns, rooms, or wherever, where you are to choose what seems to be the best decision on handling your type of encounter. So this is, you are Warren, or we are, because we can each pick a different choice, right? And we'll just maybe do like one. There's multiple different segments here. We can just do the first one. We are Warren Grinchmore. And so please, if you're in the chat room, play along at home.
That's right. Play along.
See if you can survive. So your goal, well, I'll read the background.
Take care, John. Thank you.
Oh, he's nervous.
Okay.
He's like, I don't know, I don't want to play the gnome fighter illusionist. All right, so
yeah, and if you're going to play at home, you can't look at the books. This has to be just what you think, because if you're going to give me advice and you're just looking through the book, that's not the spirit of this.
Exactly. Okay, so here is ready. So here, in certain cases, your best choice may be one which will minimize the damage taken, but cannot prevent damage altogether.
It's not the Kobayashi mirror. We can't cheat test.
You cannot.
Okay.
And then, all right. How to play is simple. Pick the best choice for every situation. Then check the answer sheet to see what is the result of your choice. Good luck.
Thank you.
Kelly Villamere. And I told Kelly we're running this, and he's very enthusiastic about it.
Okay.
He said he gives us approval. So excellent. I guess the copyright issues have been waived.
They've been waived. That's right. You have a verbal approval, I think.
Right. All right. Here's the background.
Okay.
The village of Morique was a peaceful and prosperous place to grow up in for you. Mm-hmm. This was largely due to the lawful good cleric Cedric the Wise.
Cedric, love it.
Who made many converts and friends in the area with humans, gnomes, and animals. Animal converts.
Animals, gnomes, and humans.
It's quite a Sunday morning. This is perfect Sunday morning. You're in the church.
And you've got gnomes and humans and animal.
And there's like an ox. Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
The ox are lowing.
Cedric's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, but wait a second.
Oh, there's trouble.
There is trouble. Okay. There's trouble
in River City.
Yes, there is. No, trouble in Morique. Why do they always pick hard names? You know what I mean?
Well, I assume this is French-like. I mean, this is Canada, right?
Oh, you're right. Moriq. Because I'm like, there's no U after the Q. That violates the rules. Okay.
And Cedric is sort of French-like.
Maybe it's Kendrick.
It could be.
Right. Okay. In later years, Cedric became overloaded with his work.
Apparently.
Right? And decided, what can go wrong with this? And decided to create a clay golem.
Oh, okay.
Wait, how do you create a clay golem?
So there's the first test. How high level is Cedric if he can create a clay golem?
Can clerics do that? I thought it would just be magic.
No.
Oh, okay.
In fact, I think that's the only golem that a cleric can make, if I remember correctly.
So when you see a cleric creating a clay golem, you know, like, whoa, don't mess with that dude.
What level do you think it is? Because this is always fun. Because you have.
I'm gonna say I have no concept. I'm like third. I'm gonna say 12th level.
12th level. I believe it's 16th level.
Wow.
But I could be wrong.
You looked that up. I'm gonna keep reading.
Yeah.
Okay. Because of the people's trust in Cedric, they soon grew accustomed to this figure of clay. Is that his name? Clay.
Figure Clay's name.
Clay.
Name and what he is.
All was fine until an evil illusionist. Oh, they're always the baddie. An evil illusionist named Maximius. No, Maximius. Maximius. Maximius, right?
Okay, Maximius.
Maximius infiltrated the cleric's abode, killing Cedric in his sleep, and somehow gaining control over the golem, which he used to rape and pillage the village.
Rape?
You know it's the early 80s.
Wow.
It's early 80s D&D, my friend.
This is an anatomically correct golem? Horrible. Horrific.
Well, they may be using it not in the literal sense, right?
Okay. Yeah.
This is terrible. So this clay golem is running amok. Is raping and pillaging the village. Right. After recovering from their initial fear, the villagers started sending out hunting parties to seek out Maximius's new nearby home in order to destroy the golem. One party managed to return with great success, bringing with them the dead body of Maximius, along with many bodies of men from the party who died fighting the golem. Garth, the leader of the party, told the villagers that the lair is filled with many false illusions created by Maximius, but the golem still inhabits the building and kills any living thing that it comes across. So this reminds me a little bit of Halls of Tizenthane.
Yep.
Spoiler here, right?
Yep.
That you got sort of this
insane creature that was destroyed his master.
And you don't know how to get rid of him now, exactly, and that's the problem now. The only way to destroy the golem is not by having a large party, but by one person or gnome alone.
Or animal.
So as not to attract attention. You, Warren Grinchmore, are perhaps unfortunate as to be the most likely candidate to succeed because
the Grinch stole Christmas. The Grinchmore stole Christmas. I love it. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, he's kind of like looking down. It's like the big town hall with all the gnomes.
And the animals.
And the
humans,
animals, and all the animals are looking down.
Who shall save us from the
Right.
clay golem? And then he's kind of looking around, typical gnome, not paying attention.
Right. Same with
And
all the
everything
animals
got
too.
And yeah, there is.
No, they all look at him. All the animals, all the people all look at him.
And they look at him.
Oh boy, poor Grinchmore. The only way. Okay, so your because of your art of illusions. So yeah, they think. I guess because there's a lot of illusions in there.
Okay.
I guess you're the man. Okay.
I guess.
I don't agree with that. I don't want to go, but I'm fine. To ensure your job, destroy the golem.
Yeah.
So destroy clay to ensure the safety of your village. So there's humans in this village too.
Right, but they're going to send
humans, gnomes, and animals. It's those three categories.
Yep.
Garth gave you a map. Thanks for nothing, Garth. Directing you to the location of the golem, a mere half-day's travel. He warned you about the illusions which seem deadly. In fact, so deadly that not even nearby kobold, orc, or gnoll tribe members will approach you within 1 mile of the area. Well, that's good. So at least we know there's not going to be a random encounter.
I love it. Yeah, that's good.
To ensure secrecy, you decide to leave at night by the light of the full moon, as your infravision should pick up any heat radiating creatures crossing your path. Oh wait, we have.
I am the Christmas gnome.
Here he is, Warren. All right?
Yep.
So we have Warren Grinchmore.
Got it.
There's Warren.
Yep.
And everyone's okay. All right. Your travels, taking you through.
There's only 13 more pages of this, by the way.
That's right. You'll eventually have a choice to make. You're no, but after this, then it's all action. Your travels, taking you through the Olith Forest, go smoothly until about half a mile from the entrance of the late Maximius's lair. With your infravision,
yes,
you see about 50 feet away to your left a large husky creature approaching, making a ferocious grunting noise. Just then you remember that Garth had told you, oh, now I remember, about a wereboar sighted in the area. So here is this episode's choice.
Okay.
So you decide here are your choices. There will be 10.
Choices. Wow. By the way, before we do this,
do you have anywhere to go?
you have to be 17th level cleric or greater to make one.
Wait, so let me get this straight.
Yes, this is the part that's fascinating. Yes, Cedric.
So was
a 17th level cleric. But he was assassinated by Maximus. I think yes.
And Maximus was taken down by this party of villagers. Right.
Exactly.
But they're like, but we can't handle this clay golem. You know. You go.
Who may be a fighter illusionist. So I may be 6th level, 6th and 7th.
Oh, wait, no, I know what. I've got the stats.
Oh, okay. That's
let me tell you about Warren Grinchmore.
That's good.
Okay, so you're male. Your AC is 6.
Great.
Supplies. Well, at least you were smart. Food, torches, and belladonna.
Nice.
Because belladonna, that's a cure, an antidote for lycanthropy, right? Yeah. If you got to take it fast. Strength? What do you think his strength is?
11.
16.
Wow.
Well, he's a fighter. 15 intelligence, 12 wisdom, 13 charisma, 15 constitution, 18 dexterity.
Nice.
I am level. You were pretty good. What did you say the guess was?
6th, 7th or something?
6, 7. You got it.
I'm maxed out.
You are Warren. You are very Grinchmorian. Okay.
I'm maxed out.
Dart, silver dagger, +1 mace.
Oh, I got a mace +1.
+2 short sword.
Ooh.
So yeah, people need to know what they're using. Oh, you have a ring of lightning.
What the heck is that?
Does 7 to 42 damage to opponent.
Okay.
You get it. So there's no such thing as a ring of lightning? He made this up?
I've never heard of it, but that doesn't mean there isn't.
And you have a staff of fear.
Oh, okay. I've heard of wand of fear.
You're neutral good.
Like Santa Claus.
Like Santa Claus. These are your spells. You have audible glamour, change self.
You don't need to tell me.
Color spray.
I got it.
Yeah, but there may be choices. Improved phantasmal, invisibility, blur, suggestion, and dispel illusion. You have scrolls of paralyzation and dispel illusion. Gnome, common, dwarves, and burrowing animal. Hints for success. I like this. Hints for success. Read story carefully.
Excellent.
So have you been taking notes? Yeah.
I have been.
You're a very good player.
I'm trying.
Okay. A1. So a creature's coming at you.
A wereboar.
Well, no, you don't know.
Well,
you don't know.
I was reminded there was a wereboar.
But you don't know it's a wereboar.
Oh, I don't.
No, you see a large husky creature approaching, making a ferocious grunting noise. You remember that he told you about a wereboar sighted in the area.
Gotcha.
Wereboars are nasty, aren't they?
They are.
Ooh.
Angry things.
Angry Werebore.
Angry.
The Angry Werebore.
It's like Elf. Come here, Angry.
That's our next pub. The Angry Werebore.
I like that.
You like the Angry Werebore?
Well, that's redundant.
Eating a gnome. So it'll be like Warren Grinchmore's heat just coming out of the...
Yeah. So I've lost already? You haven't?
No. We don't know if you have yet. A1. Here's your 10 choices. Attack immediately with Silver Dagger.
Okay.
Oh wait, we're supposed to be testing knowledge because I don't know. So I guess don't tell me anything.
Okay.
I think
Attack
Silver
with Silver
Dollars.
Dagger.
I think that works on a lycanthrope. That seems to make sense to me. A2. Attack immediately with Short Sword. It's a +2 Short Sword. So see, he's being very smart here. He's testing you. Do you need a magical item? Do you need a silver weapon?
Yeah.
A3, use Dispel Illusion. This could be an illusion. On scroll or cast a spell for it as this obvious illusion. At this obvious illusion, then walk by with mace. Okay, I'm not going to suggest that I think A3 is bad, but I'm thinking that might be a bad choice. A4, use Paralyzation Scroll. If it fails, attack with a dart, then attack with mace. A5, cast Invisibility. Then run past it immediately with mace in hand. I may want to save the invisibility spell. A6, cast Change Self into human form, then approach it, talking in common, with sword ready for defense. A7, attack with Ring of Lightning immediately, then attack with dagger. A8, use Blur Spell, then attack it with mace. A9, cast Suggestion on it to leave or be harmed, speaking in common, having dagger ready for defense. A10, take a bite of Belladonna, then attack with dagger. Those are your choices.
I don't like any of those choices.
Well, we got a clay.
How about Flea?
That was not on there. Parlay. So we've got a clay golem. So how are we going to do this? We'll each do our own separate choice, but can we talk about the different... I want to talk. Can we talk?
Of course.
Okay. We have a clay golem to deal with.
Well, we're not dealing with clay golem.
I know, but we want to save spells and things like that, right? I mean, we don't want to lose. So the question is, can a lycanthrope... Don't tell me. But I know there's an issue here of what kind of weapon do you need to hit a lycanthrope? Is it silver or is it magical?
Do you want me to tell you or not?
No, don't tell me because I think it's magical. Is what I think it is. Do you have any thoughts? What are you leaning toward?
My preference was because I know there's lots of illusions and we're not in the cave already. We're outside the cave.
We're outside the cave, so it's probably not an illusion.
Probably, or if it's an illusions for the most part, if it's done by the rules, illusions are not permanent typically unless the concentration of that. It's very likely that would be later in the thing. So
we should probably strike off A3, use Dispel Illusion.
Yeah, I would hate to use that right away when, again, we get it. I would say...
Well, right, what would you say? What do you like between silver and short sword?
I would use a short sword.
Because you think you need magical.
Well, I think silver will work, but I would do more damage with a short sword, and it's plus to hit.
I like, the paralyzation scroll isn't a bad idea.
No, the paralyzation is a good idea.
Because you probably can't paralyze a clay golem. Paralyzation probably only works on...
That's right.
Now, a werebore is part human, right?
Right.
Okay.
So paralyzation's a good one.
Invisibility's not bad, but we may want the invisibility to sneak up on on clay.
Well, clay golems are very powerful. I don't know all the things, but they have some very powerful things. I could cast invisibility and sneak by. Some were creatures have a heightened sense smell, so I would suggest fighting. But
you want to try? I think I want to try to cast Suggestion first,
because
maybe I wouldn't have to lose your hit points, and that fails an attack. What do you think?
Right. Change Self is not good. Dispel Illusion I don't like.
I'm not taking it.
I like Suggestion. Or attacking with the sword, and then followed by paralyzation.
And the bite of Belladonna first, I think, is a bad idea. I think you take the bite of Belladonna after you've been right.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it right now.
I wouldn't either. Okay, so what is your James?
So there.
I'm sorry, Warren Grinchmore.
I'm going to with the crowd, and Bucky's not sure either. He likes the Belladonna and the dagger. I'm going to go with the paralyzation. I think I don't want to anticipate fighting a lot of monsters in here. So I'm going to assume that this is a creature, so I'm going to cast paralyzation.
Okay, so James has selected A4.
With my backup being A2, which is...
Right, so you're using a paralyzation. You have a scroll.
Yeah.
Right, so you cast... Okay, so you're A4.
Right.
There's no backup. That's A4.
That's it. I'm doing A4.
I'm going to do A9. I feel like we're ordering a meal.
That's right.
I'd like A9, please.
I'd like to get the A9.
How's the paralyzation today?
Yeah.
I'm
How
going to
is
do
the paralyzation today? Is it good?
Is it good? We have a special suggestion.
Yeah, it's a little.
Yeah, just between you and me.
Right.
I'm going to go with A9. I'm going to do the suggestion.
Okay.
Because because I want to try to save some hit points.
Right.
And who else out there? We're going to need choices. Oh, Bucky's. Oh,
I said Belladonna.
You know what Gary says is that he waited.
No, he didn't wait. He said.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Extra. Oh, he wants to do A9, extra crispy, which is the lightning.
Oh, wait. So no, A9 was the suggestion. You want to do? He wants to do A7. Is lightning ring of lightning immediately, and then attack with dagger.
Yes. I guess he.
Oh, that's great.
So he's doing 7.
So now we have to figure out. Okay. Well, actually, we don't have to look up anything because they're going to tell us the answers.
Right.
All right. So we've got you're what are you? You're A4.
Paralyzation.
A4, 7, 9. All right, let me go to the answers. Returning and flipping.
Wow. There's a lot of answers.
There's a lot of, this is going to be like all year. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Oh, here, let's talk about if you had done, what would have happened if you had done the wrong choices, okay? You want to do that?
Okay, sure.
So attack immediately with a silver dagger. You would have killed it, but you would have taken 6 hit points of damage in melee.
Oh,
that would have been rough. What do you got? There's like blood all over the snow.
It's not that big. 6
How many?
points.
Oh, wait, where are my hit points?
I probably have 40 or 50 hit points, I hope.
I don't see hit points.
Perfect.
There's no hit points listed. Look, do you see hit points listed?
I do not.
I do not. Well, it'll tell you if you're dead.
Yeah.
Okay. A2 would have been better.
Yes.
You'd killed it, but take 4 hit points of damage. Number 3 is to dispel illusion. We all thought that was terrible, didn't I think? Right? Take 12 hit points of damage before killing this real wereboar.
Yeah, so we knew that wasn't good.
Okay, we're going to skip over 4, because that was yours, right? We'll do that later, right? You were paralyzation, right?
Yeah.
We'll do that later. A5 was the invisibility. It works, no damage.
Nice.
That would have been good. So he liked that, but you would have blown that spell. So you wouldn't be able to do that later.
But I would be invisible. As long as I don't do a hostile
that's
action,
true. That's a good point. That's a very good point. A6, which was the change self. And then you were going to, into human form, approach it, talk in common with sword ready. Spell works, but no good against this foe. It attacks. Take 8 hit points of damage. I don't know what you lived or died. A8 was the blur spell, and then attack with the mace. Spell helps, but still take 4 hit points of damage in melee. And then A10, a bite of belladonna. Take 14 hit points of damage before killing it. All right. So now on to James. This is what happened to you.
Paralyzation.
You're pulling out your scroll. It is racing at you. You're speaking the spell. It works. No damage. Congratulations.
There you go.
You're doing really good. You're a very good student.
Well, but I crossed off paralyzation.
Okay.
And then I kill it horribly with my sword.
Exactly. And now it comes to, all right, if you did the A7, the ring of lightning, it works. You take 2 hit points of damage from melee afterwards.
Okay. Well,
but that's a pretty good choice there.
Very nice.
I'd say that's an A minus. You were an A. It's an A minus. And I am A9. Suggestion. I got a bad feeling about this now. It doesn't work. Take 10 hit points of damage before killing it. I haven't failed yet. Well, if I was that, I'm a terrible player. I mean, have they seen Pixie and Glade? Oh no, no. Wait, okay, but now I need to know, why did it not work? Because it doesn't work. Where's suggestion? Where's my player's handbook? Why didn't it work?
Maybe
it took a save?
Yeah, maybe it got a. I'm sure it gets a save.
Oh.
Like Canthrope. That's funny.
That's not funny at all. All right, so illusionist, suggestion spell. Well, I assume it's going to send me back to magic user, right?
Suggestion is, yeah, it's
3rd level magic user.
Mm-hmm.
I have some questions for Kelly in January about this. Suggestion. When this spell is cast by the magic, he or she influences the actions chosen.
It's just, you get a saving throw.
The creature you influence must, of course, be able to understand the suggestion.
Maybe that's the issue. Maybe he doesn't understand in common. When he's a boar, he doesn't understand.
Oh, maybe when he's in boar shape. Oh, so that's, I'm learning. I like this.
It says they have their own language, which is spoken in addition to common, but then the assumption is, can they understand common if they're in their wereboar shape?
Oh, so okay, so but this is useful because you may have a DM that says you don't want to risk it.
Right.
You may disagree, but remember what we just read from Keep on the Borderlands.
That's right.
The DM's decisions are final.
Correct.
So yeah, so he may have been coming at me as a big bore, and he doesn't understand common, and it didn't work. Okay, because otherwise, can it work on any?
We gave you the lightning. I thought. I think he originally did Belladonna and Dagger, but then I thought you was joking about A&I as a food order. Okay, well, whichever one you did, now you see this is the fun of this thing. So.
Oh, he used the Belladonna. So what would have happened? So that was
14.
Oh wow,
that was a big hit.
Oh, he's an honest player.
Right. Well, that's why he's a good player to play.
You're doing the best. All three of us are still alive though.
Yes.
But you're doing the best.
Well, apparently none of them. You can't die in the first edition. That's the issue
true.
I have.
Oh, that's nice. That's sweet.
Why couldn't he? I'd like the adventure to end. You're dead.
Yeah, they should have been like play dead, like curling a ball.
Now you're really dead.
Yeah, there should have been just some terrible ones. Like
exactly.
There's always like the answer choice and the multiple choice. Like that's just dead fish. It's just like clearly wrong.
Right.
Yeah, we needed one of those.
Absolutely.
Okay, but here's the good news. After the first edition of Have You, but Warren Crinchmore is alive in all three parallel universes.
We're still moving.
You're still moving.
That's right.
All right.
Excellent. Well, I look forward to that next time. That was more fun than I thought it was going to be. And now you've done all the setup, we can say we're not going over the setup every time. You know where we're at.
You know the instructions.
Right.
The quiz is on.
This one. You have to come back to this module episode.
Right.
Well, very good. Well, let's let's do our gift exchange now.
Oh, that's right.
So this is our suggestion / compare. We'll compare scores at the end. That sounds a good idea, Bucky.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. This is for you. I don't know if you'll appreciate it, but
of course I'll appreciate it.
Well, I don't know if you will. It's kind of something I'd buy for me. And you've got me. I bought something for me.
Right.
This is to. Oh, and you got to read the tag.
To the Ghost of Modules Past.
And this is to Dan, from Dan.
Oh, excellent.
So I bought myself something.
Those are my favorite.
So which one should I? Well,
you can open that.
Oh, this is heavy. This has heft to it.
This is now. I before you open it, I'm going to apologize because I violated the rule that you really appreciated me for. You'll open and you'll understand what I'm saying, but okay. I hope you enjoy it.
And this is something, and what you're going to see here, I hope you like this. This is something that's very hard to find. So you can at least trade it or sell it.
I'm not planning to do.
No, you can do both, either one of those. I have. This is an extra one, so I have this.
Okay.
But I saw an extra one available, and I'm like, it only comes available like every several years, maybe.
Wow. Okay.
So I grabbed it.
Oh, okay.
So you can.
Well, this is a fitting end to Grogtalk for this year because.
Oh, this is great.
That's what I thought.
This is awesome. I'm sorry for those people listening at home.
Ooh.
This is Dungeon, the board game.
That's right. You mentioned you liked it.
It was fun. We will bring this to GrogCon.
And we have a party on Friday. So for those who...
Oh.
By the way, this is typical Grogtalk, right? We've drank on here, we've eaten cereal, and now we're opening gifts.
That's right.
People
right.
This is what people come for the show for.
We basically just hang out and audio tape it.
That's right, exactly.
So this is Dungeon, the game. I played this for the first time at GrogCon.
That's right.
2019.
Exactly. With
Carlos Lysing and Nick Monito and a fourth player.
That's right.
I didn't know.
I don't remember.
It was a lot of fun. We should get I wonder how many players you can have. Oh, where does it say?
That's 4 to 6.
Is it up? Oh, I was hoping it could be like 20.
1 to 8.
We need to have like 8 players. Yeah, we should have a dungeon game.
Yes. Well, we're having an event this Friday, right? We're getting together with when Vic and Jeannie come down. So I figured we could play it then.
That would be great.
So there you go. Thank you. And this is the Lost Abbey of
Calthaway. So this is So this was a 1979 module.
Wow.
Put out by Phoenix Games. There's only 2 put out by Phoenix Games. This one is considered the better one. I haven't run it yet. It's considered very good.
All right. And you got a second copy.
I have a second copy. I got it from Alan Grohe at Black Blade. Had an extra copy. It's very hard to find, and so it appeared. I do random searches for models like this, and it appeared on Amazon. So yeah, so it's obviously beat up because it's it's
in pretty good shape.
It's not bad.
No, it's wonderful.
Did I give you my nice copy? Maybe I gave you the wrong copy.
It's mine now.
Uh-oh.
No, I'll take it. Thank you so much. I will. Do you want me to run this for you, or do you want me to?
Oh, I've already read it.
Okay, so you're.
I read it.
So I'm not going to read it until you run it for us.
Oh well, then you can. Okay, certainly. If you wanted to go through it,
yeah, I'd absolutely. Love to go through it. Thank you. That's awesome. I love rare stuff like that. So that's really cool.
And thank you for Dungeon. Oh, And wait, a gift for me?
A gift for me?
From
Really?
me?
From me to me? I love it.
So I bought myself a gift. This is literally the only Christmas gift I can have. I bought this, and this was it. Oh, I can't. What is it? I
wonder what you got yourself.
I'm so excited. Did you notice that the tissue paper was color coded to the module?
I did not. That was that. Well, yes, you're right. It is.
And then white too, and then some white.
That's a lot of thought, Paul.
And this is color coded. What?
What is this?
Dan, you shouldn't have. Starstone.
You actually got Starstone?
Oh, Dan, thank you so much.
Oh, that's right. You weren't allowed to look at this. That's right.
Christmas.
I forgot. That's right.
My wife, she got me reading it.
It's not even Christmas, and you still opened it early.
I said, honey, can I buy this module? She's like, how much is it? I'm like, And she's like, what? I'm like, it's the only thing I'll get. And she's like, okay. And then I came, and she saw me reading it. She's like, isn't that your Christmas gift?
Oh, that's awesome.
So, yes. Oh, thank you, Dan. That's awesome. So so from Northern Stages.
So what is the history? What is the
this
history
is more
of
rare
Starstone?
than this.
I bet. What is the history of Starstone?
So this is Paul Vernon,
Okay.
which, as you may recall, Paul Vernon did a lot of publishing in White Dwarf. Right. He influenced, as we know,
Daniel Collerton.
Collerton.
Other folks, right?
Exactly.
He mentioned it.
And he wrote an adventure in White Dwarf called The Trouble at Ember Tree, and it was a prequel to this. And then he formed his own company called Northern Sages, and he wrote Starstone. And he was going to do additional ones, and they never came out. And only so many of these were issued. And so it's just, I mean, a lot of it is just sort of the fact that it's crazy rare. But people consider this to be a great, one of the all-time great adventures, Starstone. It's
so
actually
you're going to run that?
Absolutely.
Oh,
probably
good.
the summer's going to take a little bit more time. So maybe the summer coming up. So, yes. So there it is. So, all right.
And if you're in the Orlando area, I mean, Dan does put up on meetup.com our Central Florida Grognards Guild. If you're around, we'd love to have you because it's not a standard group. So that's congratulations.
Right. A lot of one-offs.
You know, that was very thoughtful of Dan to get you that.
He is so sweet.
He knows exactly what you want because you mentioned it a number of times.
Yes. I'm so surprised he found it.
That's right. So what are these other things that you have?
Okay, so these are Christmas poppers, right? So in England,
we've really become Anglophiles.
We have.
Yeah.
So you pull these, and I think they pop, and there's little gifts in there.
And did you make these?
No, I bought these.
Oh.
I'm not that good.
I was going to say, because this is impressive.
No. So I think you just pull. You ready? So I'll go for it. I think you just pull it. It didn't really pop.
It did not pop.
And then stuff comes out.
Okay, here, 1, 2.
Oh, that was a little better. There was some pop there, right?
Yeah.
Wait.
You owe...
It's just this? Wait, that's it? I feel like it's the little Orphan Annie. Wait.
That's right.
It's a little notepad?
Drink more Ovaltine. No, I
just have a little notepad.
So, I guess in England, you do these things and you...
These gifts are terrible.
This is the history of Tom Smith. So there's a little story, which I'm not going to read here.
Why not?
Because it's about 5 paragraphs here if you want to read the story of Tom Smith.
What? These gifts are awful.
So apparently these gifts are just like stocking stuffers. They're little treats at the end. So unfortunately, Menyon and our friends who came from the United Kingdom are not here anymore to kind of school us on this. But so I have some kind of magic trip triangle thing. That's my gift.
Did Tom Smith invent poppers? I don't want to read this whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh man, these were not very good gifts. What did you get?
I got some kind of thing that you're supposed to like take apart. It's like a magic triangle. And you got... What did you get? Oh, you got a notepad. You can write down what you really wanted.
It's so small.
I want Firestone thing. Which, by the way, I forgot to show you those. I got to show you that next week. But
Firestone. Okay.
So
well, that ended. It was sort of anticlimactic.
So some traditions maybe don't cross the pond as well as others.
Well, I think some poppers are stuffed with better stuff. What? This clearly. Wait, you got more stuff's coming out?
There's something else in here.
Wait, why'd you get all this stuff? And I just got.
You should look in.
Oh wait, hang on. Wait. Oh, the hat. Then you wear the hat. Oh look, I got that too.
Is it the same thing?
And then there's a hat. You wear the hat.
Is there a hat really?
You do.
Is that on?
You do. It's got to get bigger than that, doesn't it? Yeah, keep opening.
Okay.
You do realize...
Oh, see? That's what I was afraid
Here,
of.
you take mine.
Oh, that's okay.
You do realize once it's on the internet,
That's right.
It's out there forever.
There you go.
I'm not putting it on because I know that that's what you're gonna make the cover. You know, the still.
That's right.
The freeze frame.
That's what I'm gonna do.
So I'm not putting it on.
This is the same thing. The history of Tom Smith.
Yeah. So what you do is you get the history. He probably invented the popper, don't you think?
I would say so.
And then the gifts were terrible.
Yes, I would say novelty good for us, but the gift.
He introduced the paper hats, and he toured the world to find new and unusual ideas for the gifts. A small love motto in the tissue paper. He created enormous interest in this product. Okay, yeah. So it's basically describing.
Okay.
The history of the popper. That's not wonderful. It's terrible.
It's not that great.
It's awful. Where's the trash bin?
We'll worry about that later. Don't worry.
Right in the trash bin.
Okay. So some other gifts that I think if you have, a lot of us have people that they don't play D&D or they don't play fantasy role-playing games, but you want to try to introduce them, like my wife, who has no interest at all.
Why would you want to introduce them?
Well, maybe you don't. Maybe your sons or whatever. So I have a couple of games that are D&D-like that you can get them involved with. One of them I've talked about before, which is Diablo 2, this one right here. Let me move this out of the way. Oops, sorry, Dan. So this is kind of a D&D in a box, and you make up characters, and it's based on the video game, but it's a D&D, and it has random generator. These are still available, and it's a good way to get into D&D without not having all the rules. So you can look at that. And
tabletop RPG, no computer required. Boy, they have to say that nowadays, don't they?
Well, this came out in 1999.
So Diablo 2. So this is like a D&D.
Right. It's a D&D adaptation of the video game of Diablo. So you can play the story of Diablo, but using Dungeons and Dragons.
And you can use it as an introduction to role-playing games.
That's right.
So it's a little bit like the dungeon of its time, because a lot of people probably played dungeon first and then played.
Yeah. So it has random tiles. It has dice. You make saving throws. It has the dice that come with it. And you have characters, and they have the powers that they have in Diablo. So they're sort of like, wizard and paladin. Mm-hmm. So it's good enough to get them involved with a D&D-like game.
Okay.
So that goes there.
If you wanted to torture your family members.
That's right.
Who have no interest.
So another more of a board game type of thing is Temple of Elemental Evil, this is redone, I think, in 2014, 15. So this is really a board game. You have characters with skills, and you pull out tiles, and it's the dungeon floor. And as you pull out the tiles, monsters appear, and they're cultists and the things from the Temple of Elemental Evil. So, and then you either defeat one of the elementals or a dragon or something like that. So it's a lot of fun. It's not D&D, but in fact, you don't have a dungeon master. It's a cooperative game. You're all working together. So you get the flavor of D&D, working together, hopefully not arguing, as Gary said. And it develops a story, and hopefully it will cause them to be interested in these type of games. So the reason
it's a big pack. It'd be fun to unwrap because big. People will lift it up and it has heft.
This doesn't even have the miniatures in it.
Oh yeah, you'd be like, "What's this?" And then they're like, "Oh."
So part of the reason I got this was for the miniatures. So they're normally plain. They're not colored, but I painted these.
Oh, I thought these were Vic's fellas.
No, these are mine.
His boxes are his.
The boxes are his. That's
okay.
Right. So these, that's his too. The wolf.
That's like the wolf or the werebar is coming.
Yeah, the werebar. So that's another fun game. And another kind of fun game in the tradition of old school is a game called Boss Monster, which we really like. You are the dungeon keeper, and you're trying to keep the adventurers out of your dungeon. So you build your dungeon to be as deadly as possible, and these heroes try to get through, and they get defeated, and that's how you win the game.
Wow, you've been doing a lot of collecting.
Yes, I have kids, and sometimes they don't want to play D&D. They just want to.
You could do YouTube videos on each one of these games on how to play.
I could, but people have done that before, and they do it way better than us. So anyway, that's those are some gift ideas. This one, I don't know, it's about $15-$20. Temple of Elemental Evil right now is on Amazon for about $45. This one is like Dan thing. You have to go out and collectible. But I like all about them because they're relatively simple to run. You don't have to do a whole lot of preparedness.
And you know what makes a great gift too?
And Dungeon's a relatively inexpensive thing too.
And what you got me last year is Art and Arcana, which is a great. So I know we probably don't have anyone listening who is seeking to buy a gift for a D&D. Well, we may. I mean,
or buy for yourself.
And I don't know. Can you walk into A bookstore?
Yes.
Find Art and Arcana?
Not Barnes and Noble. Barnes and Noble. They have
Okay,
it.
yeah, so it's not too late.
They have a special edition there. They have the red one there for a while. So this is the normal one. And then they have the limited edition.
Okay.
Yep, it's never too late. Okay.
Wait, we forgot to do something.
What?
We forgot to roll for Divine Intervention on the Frost Man.
Oh, yes.
I get a roll, don't I?
Yes, sure.
Oh, what's going to come? Like some ice demon or something. Oh, yeah, what's the Bone Devil? Wait, no, what's the ice? Isn't there an Ice Devil?
There's an Ice Devil.
Ice, right? All right, let's see. What's my chance?
10.
Because that would take the Medusa. What happens then?
We
have 2 new mana monsters?
We have to retcon it at some point. 79.
These dice roll really high.
See, once again, the DM, I don't worry about something until I have to worry about it.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm like, let's see if you roll.
That's a pro tip.
Right. Don't. So I'm like, yeah, let's worry about it after. So it didn't happen. You're still stoned. Medusa is wandering around, going after Santa Claus.
That's right.
Which we may have to figure out, adjudicate that. Well, you do need to roll a D10 because we have to say how well this podcast went.
Okay. All right. So
D10.
Right all right.
Holiday special, 4.
That's our highest rated holiday special ever.
That's right. The best one we've ever had.
This has been I think this has been our best holiday special.
It is, and probably we'll do it again. So again, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter, website, Google Play, iTunes. Please review, like, and subscribe. Our things are moving up. Again, we appreciate it. Really, this has been a great year. So I wanted to also talk about this week coming up, because today is Sunday. We'll be at Blackmore Studios on Saturday.
Yep, live from Full Sail University, where Dave Arneson taught. We've been granted limited access.
Wonderful.
To Blackmore Studios to broadcast, and my understanding is that there is a display there.
Right.
Of Arneson memorabilia.
And we're going to be broadcasting live, and we're going to have a special guest, right?
Yep, we're going to have Dave Wesley, who, of course, invented Bronstein, and many credit with being the originator of role-playing games, because he had these. If you've seen the documentary Secrets of Blackmore, and if you haven't, you should definitely see it. Well worth renting it.
We haven't seen it yet. I'm hoping when Vic comes down, we're going to do a viewing of it on Saturday night.
Right. I took a sneak peek. It's awesome.
All right.
And that talks a lot about Dave Wesley and about how he used role. They took people who were in this war game, playing a war game, and he gave them personality. You could play a particular person.
Right.
And so role playing started. So it wasn't fantasy role playing.
Just role playing.
It was role playing.
Gotcha.
So many credit him with being the inventor of role playing games. He will be our guest, and he was in Dave Arneson's Blackmore campaign, and so he'll be our guest. And we may have, and if we don't do it this week, in a subsequent week, we may have one of the producers of Secrets of Blackmore, Griff, on, we've been talking to. Yes, which would be very good. He said yes. He said anytime. So for Grogtalk, first of all, Merry Christmas. If we don't available to watch the show or listen to the podcast next week, have a Happy New Year. We're looking forward to an exciting 2020. It's been a great 1980. 1980. That's right. 1980 plus 40. It's 1979. It is. That's right. I'm still playing with my Atari 2600. Exactly. So I look forward to a new year.